You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. The most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey. The most influential name in Caribbean radio. WZYE 95.9 FM.
Frustration get the better of you and make you do things you should never do. You got to keep the faith, you can't surrender. You never know, tomorrow may be brighter. Behind every dark cloud, there's a silver lining. So don't give up hope now. We gotta keep on trying. Keep on going. We gotta keep on moving on. As long as you have health and strength, reaching your goal, nothing should prevent. Every time you fall, get up again. Don't sit down there like that and complain. You got to stand up and continue fighting. Don't give up, keep courage, you must win. Don't you know, behind every dark cloud, there's a silver lining. So don't give up hope now. We gotta keep on trying. Oh Lord, we gotta keep on going. We gotta keep on moving on. Obstacles will get in the way, stumbling blocks to hinder your day, but you can't afford to let them stop you. No matter how hard it is to go through, you got to stand up and continue fighting. Endurance shall win in the ending. Don't you know, behind every dark cloud, silver lining. So don't give up hope now. We gotta keep on trying. Oh Lord, we gotta keep on going. We gotta keep on moving on. Strong positive mind, negative thoughts, leave them behind. We got to go forward in sure certainty. Let no element humbug that possibility. But if you give up, you have no way of knowing if next day would have brought good tidings. Don't you know, behind every dark cloud, there's a silver lining. So don't give up hope now. We gotta keep on trying. Oh Lord, we gotta keep on going. We gotta keep on moving on. Behind every dark cloud, there's a silver lining. So don't give up hope. keep on moving on. We know it's a long and winding road, and we got a heavy load, but we have to hold it straight. Get up and try again, because behind every dark
I need you, Lord, right now. Yeah, yeah. I must tell Jesus all of my trials. I cannot bear these burdens alone. In my distress, He kindly will help me. He heaven loves and cares for His own. I must tell Jesus. I must tell Jesus. I cannot be. No. My burdens alone. I must tell Jesus. I must tell Jesus. Jesus can help me. Only Jesus alone. I must tell Jesus all of my troubles. He is a kind and compassionate friend. If I ask Him, He will deliver. Make all my troubles quickly and hand. I must tell Jesus. I must tell Jesus. I cannot be. I must tell Jesus. My burdens alone. I must tell Jesus. I must tell Jesus. Jesus can help me. Only Jesus alone. What must I do when worldliness calls me? What must I do when tempted to sin? I must tell Jesus, and He will help me over the world, victory to win. I must tell Jesus. I must tell Jesus. I cannot be. No. My burdens alone. I must tell Jesus. I must tell Jesus. Jesus can help me. Jesus can help me. Only Jesus can help me.
Keep me as the apple of thine eye. Hide me under the shadow of thy wing. O Lord, my Savior. It's so hard to deal with personal struggle. So sad when you feel alone in your trouble. It's real hard when you want to talk to a brother. It's so bad because of how some look at you after. So Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover my head. Satan want me dead. Cover my back from human attack. So Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. People see you smile, but don't know the hurt that you're feeling. Even as God's child, at times your heart does be bleeding. Where can you go when you're really looking for healing? Who know how to flow when your soul needs some restoring? Lord Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me home from evils unknown. Cover my feet so I'll never retreat. Oh Lord, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover my brother, cover my sister, them who under pressure. Cover the preacher, every church worker, the young believer. Cover the worship leader and intercessor, every gospel minister. Cover. Jesus alone is the one who has the real answer. The one on the throne is the true and loving Father. He will hold your hand and keep you from going under. He will make you stand and let you know he's a fixer. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover my mind. You know the struggle sometimes. Cover my mouth, that the wrong thing wouldn't come out. Oh Lord, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover the Christian in the midst of aggression with the power of your right hand. Jesus, cover them helpless children. Jesus, defend them. Send help from heaven. Jesus, cover all them radio stations that blessing the nation. Grant divine protection. Jesus, cover me.
Go placidly amid the noise and haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence. As far as possible without surrender, be on good terms with all persons. Speak your truth quietly and clearly, and listen to others, even the dull and ignorant. They too have their story. Avoid loud and aggressive persons. They are vexations to the spirit. If you compare yourself with others, you may become vain and bitter for always there will be greater and lesser persons than yourself.
You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here, and whether or not it is clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should.
Enjoy your achievements as well as your plans. Keep interested in your own career. However humble, it is a real possession in the changing fortunes of time. Exercise caution in your business affairs, for the world is full of trickery. But let this not blind you to what virtue there is. Many persons strive for high ideals, and everywhere life is full of heroism. Be yourself. Especially do not feign affection. Neither be cynical about love, for in the face of all aridity and disenchantment, it is as perennial as the grass. Take kindly the counsel of the years, gracefully surrendering the things of youth. Nurture strength of spirit to shield you in sudden misfortune, but do not distress yourself with imaginings. Many fears are born of fatigue and loneliness. Beyond a wholesome discipline, be gentle with yourself.
You are a
child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here. And whether or not it is clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should. Therefore, be at peace with God, whatever you conceive Him to be, and whatever your labors and aspirations in the noisy confusion of life. Keep peace with your soul. With all its sham, drudgery, and broken dreams, it is still a beautiful world. Be careful. Strive to be happy.
You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here. You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here. You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here. You are a child of the universe.
Truer words were never spoken. The less you associate with some people, the more your life will improve. Anytime you tolerate mediocrity in others, it increases your mediocrity. An important attribute in successful people is their impatience with negative thinking and negative acting people. As you grow, your associates will change. Some of your friends will not want you to go on. They will want you to stay where they are. Friends that don't help you climb will want you to crawl. Your friends will stretch your vision or choke your dream. Those that don't increase you will eventually decrease you. Consider this. Never receive counsel from unproductive people. Never discuss your problems with someone incapable of contributing to the solution, because those who never succeed themselves are always first to tell you how. Not everyone has a right to speak into your life. You are certain to get the worst of the bargain when you exchange ideas with the wrong person. Don't follow anyone who's not going anywhere. With some people you spend an evening. With others, you invest it. Be careful where you stop to inquire for directions along the road of life. Wise is the person who fortifies his life with the right friendships. If you run with wolves, you will learn how to howl. But if you associate with eagles, you will learn how to soar to great heights. A mirror reflects a man's face, but what he is really like is shown by the kind of friends he chooses. The simple but true fact of life is that you become like those with whom you closely associate, for the good and the bad. Note, be not mistaken. This is applicable to family as well as friends. Yes, do love, appreciate, and be thankful for your family, for they will always be your family, no matter what. Just know that they are human first, and though they are family to you, they may be a friend to someone else and will fit somewhere in the criteria above. In prosperity, our friends know us. In adversity, we know our friends. Never make someone a priority when you are only an option for them. If you are going to achieve excellence in big things, you develop the habit in little matters. Excellence is not an exception. It is a prevailing attitude.
Let me say a special hello to all the WZYE 95.9 FM listeners. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, it's Sunday Talk, Let's Talk Politics with yours truly, Professor Wall Street and Uncle Tommy on WZYE 95.9 FM. And you know, ladies and gentlemen, we originate, we don't imitate. Yes? And we always welcome each and every one here on Sunday Talk, Let's Talk Politics with yours truly, Professor Wall Street and Uncle Tommy. And folks, you know, we really mean that when we say we originate, we don't imitate. And this is how we start the thing here on Sunday Talk.
Ansam LeBon and Marshall Nesbitt solemnly swear to conduct this radio program in a true, fair, and balanced manner, ensuring that all perspectives are given equal consideration and that the information presented is objective and unbiased. We pledge to provide a platform where diverse voices can be heard, fostering open and constructive dialogue that serves the best interests of our audience and community. Our commitment is to uphold the principles of journalistic integrity and ethical broadcasting throughout the duration of this program. Thank you.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Originality. Yeah. We originate, we don't imitate. And of course, the reason we always say, doesn't matter what color t-shirt you wear. You wear a purple t-shirt, a black t-shirt, a salmon t-shirt. Yeah, salmon t-shirt. Doesn't matter what planet you're from. You're from Mazatania, Xenarania, Sonaranius. Yeah. Each and every one is welcome on Sunday Talk. Let's talk politics. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, as you come in, share the live. WZYE 95.9 FM on Facebook and Twitter, now known as X. WZYE TV and YouTube. Share the live. And ladies and gentlemen, also subscribe. So as soon as we start here, our program, you will get an immediate notification that, yeah, them two fellas from foreign, them two foreigners, Uncle Tommy and Professor Wall Street, yeah, the two foreigners who they say want to talk all kind of thing about Trinidad and Tobago. But at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, we are patriotic to our beloved country, Trinidad and Tobago. And let me bring in my pal, my friend, the man himself, the man from some bay in Trinidad and Tobago. I don't know if it's Maracas Bay. I don't know if the Carnage Bay. I don't know if Chaguaramas Bay. If it's the Marabella Bay. Some type of bay. The man himself, the one and only, commonly known as Marshall Nesbitt, but more well known as Uncle Tommy. Tommy, welcome.
Good afternoon, and it's a pleasure being here in the village on Sunday Talk. Look forward to a very special, interesting, eventful evening.
You know, Tommy, that's how we just do it here on Sunday Talk. We originate, we don't imitate. You know, we really and truly don't mean that, you know. Yeah.
Yep.
We really and truly mean that, you know. We think let's go.
So how's my professor today?
I can't complain today. Today, today's my off day though.
Well, I would imagine Sunday at least you take a break today.
Yeah, yeah. And Tommy, I started on a new kind of drive. I trained 3 consecutive days for the first time in I would say about 3 years. Since I
Wow.
take the job. Since I take the job. Three
You,
consecutive days. I train Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
you intend to win this medal.
Tommy, I I I said I this is the quote I said, your circumstances may determine who you are, but you are responsible for who you become. You understand?
That's
I take
correct.
that to heart.
That is correct.
I take it to heart, man. And I'm gonna do whatever it's necessary. But Tommy, here the other thing here, Tommy. So I put you in my business now. I put all in my business now, eh? I don't really, like to put people in my business, but I put them in my business, Tommy. So Tommy, the last time I represented Trinidad and Tobago, I ran in the Central American and Caribbean Games in Bahamas. I think
What
that was
year
in
was what
1970.
year?
Huh?
What year was that?
79. I think that was 1979. Right? Um, that was the last time. And they didn't treat me right. I don't know if I ever give you the story of me. Let me turn this thing down. The story of me being Trinidad and Tobago best half miler 1 year. And I think they were going to the Pan American Games, right? And at that time, the former commissioner of police, Jules Bernard, is Jules Bernard, right?
He was one.
Right. Jules Bernard's son, Carly Bernard, also he competed in the same event as I did, which is the 800 meters. But I knew for a fact, Tommy, that unless a storm had come and blow him past me or something, you know what I mean? I
Hmm
mean, some kind of wind, maybe not a hurricane like Beryl, but a calmer version of Beryl then, blowing past me, right? But anyway, so I went to Trinidad and I was told by other people that he was told, don't come to Trinidad to run because if you come, Liban go beat you and then we wouldn't be able to put you on the team. So he didn't come to run. So I went to my run the half mile. I beat everybody. I ran 1 minute and 49 seconds flat. I beat everybody going away, Tommy. Hey, Tommy,
Uh-huh.
if you're going AZ Crawford Stadium, you could still see some of them guys behind me. Who was behind? It was Tommy. Tommy, they was so far in the back. Right, Tommy? So, you know, you run, you are the fastest time of any Trinidadian, and you expected to be on the team.
Right.
Right? So yeah, I left Trinidad and I came back home and thing. So a reporter called me and says, um, Libon, did you hear they pick the team? I said, well, no, I ain't get no message, but let me know who on the team. He said, but you not on the team. He said, he asked me, why you not on the team? I said, I'm in America. I don't know why. Carly Bernard made the team to run the 800. Now listen, he didn't come up to run any trials, and
Hmm.
he made the team. And here the story they give, the reason why they picked him is because he could also run in the 4x4, 4x400 team.
Right.
And I was no quarter miler, but I had the fastest time of any Trinidadian. And told me, boy, they leave me home, boy.
What did Bernard do?
When he went to the meet,
What?
what did he do?
That's the question.
The same thing he did when he didn't come to run in Trinidad,
Hmm.
right? So after that, I said, you know what? Me waste my time with them people and them. I went and I run for the United States of America. Now listen to this, eh?
Did you compete against Bernard?
No, 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 no. You never competed against each other. They used to hide them from me. You go, why you? It's like Usain Bolt, Many people they want to compete against Usain Bolt. but I never competed against him. Never. Right? So I tell myself, I say, you know what? I don't want to deal with that stupidness. So I went and I run for America. I am one of the few individuals. Well, I am the only, let me not say the only. I am one of the few trained Begonians in the United States Track and Field Athletic Hall of Fame. Let me repeat that. One of the few trained Begonians. I'm telling all of my business. It's all right. In the United States Athletic Track and Field Hall of Fame. Track and Field. And I believe, Tommy, that I have accomplished all I could running for the United States. So now I'm going to run, I'm going to change my allegiance back to my beloved country of Trinidad and Tobago.
And hope this time
Mm.
more shenanigans don't take place like what happened 45 years ago.
Um, um, um,
You have enough arms. Only one person I know have that many arms. Latch me.
um, you know, Tommy, let me put it this way. I left Schumacher Club until 47 years ago on July 4th.
Mm-hmm.
And when I go back, it is 47 times worse than when I left it. And it's been in the hands of a certain political party in Trinidad and Tobago. The residents have always supported them. And it's 47 times worse than when I left it in 1977. I don't know if that says anything, but
Well, it says a mouthful.
really? You think so?
Of course it does.
Okay, I mean, I don't know. But anyway, so in my participating in the World Masters Championships, I have won the 800 and 1500 at the World Masters Champion. This is the world, earlier. This is the only place is the World Championship, the best of the best. I have won the 800 and 1500, I think, on 4 separate occasions. It's 3 or 4 separate occasions. I stopped keeping count. Gold medals, yeah? And not only that, Tommy, in 2015, I became the oldest person to ever run at a World Track and Field Championship. World, in Beijing, China, 2015. Or you Google it. Go on Google. Google not the fella in 91.9,
Hmm.
the search engine. Google 2015 World Championships, 800 meters masters. And Tommy, I was the oldest guy in the event, and I finished 4th. They selected 9 people from across the whole world, including anybody who lived on Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Venus, wherever they live. And this little black boy from Schumacher Clavantil was one of those 9 individuals from the world that they selected. All right, enough of that. So that's
Right.
just a little
But,
background, a little
but
history.
and you had to represent the United States in order to get your recognition.
Yes, I represented the United States of America. Yeah. But now I'm going back home. I come back home. Who sing that one? I come. Oh, yeah. Who sing
Ronnie,
that? Oh, yeah. Ronnie go say, I come back home to run for Trinidad. I come.
I wish,
ah.
I wish you luck. Wish you all the luck in the world.
Nah, man. I think I go. I think, Tommy. All right. Let me stop thinking. Let me
Yeah.
stop. Yeah. Let me stop thinking. Anyway, let me say hello to Everett Nichols. He was first.
Welcome, everyone.
He was first on Sunday Talk, Let's Talk Politics. Good afternoon, Professor Washington and Uncle Tommy. I anxiously tuned in, boy. The man say he anxiously tuned in, boy.
Welcome.
Yeah. Bisham says, good day, Washington and Uncle Tommy. All locked on. Today menu is macaroni pie with stewed chicken. A drink of babash. You have many phones trying to get at Google show. Don't belittle yourself. Okay. Man drink a Babash boy. Tommy? Babash boy.
You know Babash.
Yeah, boy. I drink Babash once in my life. How much time you drink Babash?
I stopped count.
Once I drink Babash.
It
Once
is,
and once alone.
it's been a while since I had anything strong to drink.
I never drink punching. Never drink punching. Babash once, punching no time. No time. I wonder what's the strongest rum I ever drink, boy. Maybe bay rum? Is that rum called bay rum?
That's the rub, not to drink.
No, do I have a rum called bay rum?
The rum is to rub your body on the external use.
Oh. What are you talking about then? Eh? Yeah, Bizram, welcome. Happy Sunday.
Yeah, man. Hello.
Yeah, we listening. Go ahead. I hear
Uh,
you. Go ahead.
I just called to find out if you're talking from the British tunnel.
No,
from the-
Hear me?
uh,
I say I called to find out if you're transmitting from the British tunnel.
no, the Holland Tunnel. We transferred from the Holland Tunnel.
Holland, the Holland.
Yeah, the Holland Tunnel.
The
Yeah.
one that join up with France.
Yeah, the one you could leave New York and go through the Holland Tunnel and end up in France.
hmm,
Right.
Yeah, man. Tommy,
that was craziness.
Tommy,
I don't know where they get that from.
Tommy, you're saying impeccable with your words, Tommy, but I'm sorry, Tommy. That is a consummate dunce.
If
Tommy,
you know, the thing is that you don't know, and like you don't know, you don't know.
Tommy, for the first time, I had to create a P&M online university and give him a PhD in dunceology.
Hmm.
And the sad part of it, Tommy, the man called and this is not the first time he called with dunceness, you know. Dunsense. Yeah, I think TC does call it. Dunsense. With dunsense, you know.
Is that the person that I really thought it was?
Well, I don't know. They just call him. I don't know what is his real name. They just say Mr. Bacteria. I really don't know. I'm not sure. But maybe somebody in the chat can tell me.
Not
what
the
is-
rooster though.
No. That's not the rooster. Not the rooster. But there's our next one. I don't know between the both of them which one. They might be going neck and neck. If it's like a 20-meter yard dash, I think they're going to lean to figure out who go win.
Hmm.
You understand? And Tommy, I have never heard such dunceology on radio. And let me compliment Pastor Google. Pastor Google took himself out of it very nicely. He said, "Man, I never been to America, you know. But we go play it for you. We go play it for you. I had to play it for you. That, oh God, boy. And let me say to the PNM, the RPNM, all you have like an activist meeting and tell the activists on them, all you listen, before you call the station, especially when all you hear intelligent people speaking, right? Don't call and challenge them unless you Google what they have said or what you are going to say. Right, Tommy? So at least if you're saying something, you could say, well, I Googled it and this is what Google brought back. This is what Google said. Take yourself out of it.
Right. Give Google the blame if you misinforming,
Correct is right.
especially.
Not the pastor with the internet search engine name, the actual search engine Google.
Hmm.
Right? And it's simple. It is simple. Oh God, but the fella boy, so convincing. Move defender, welcome. It's never government assisted, it's taxpayers assisted. Okay. It's never government assisted, it's taxpayers assisted, but wean yourself over the government. Yeah, wean yourself over the government. You know, Tommy, I always said that, that when the prime minister went up into Lavantil, he tell them people to wean themselves off the government. But he don't tell the ministers of them and the 1% who have big contract with the government to wean themselves off the government. Why is only poor people have to wean themselves off the government, Tommy? Why? Yeah, but Tommy.
That's a tall order.
Tommy silence, boy.
Well.
Well.
That's all I can say. Well.
Everett said, you become like those with whom you closely associate, good or bad. Professor, please send that quote for Rowley. Let us play that. We will play that every single time we come on air here.
Yep.
Wall Street, you in the Holland Tunnel. Yeah, in the Holland Tunnel. And Tommy, what make it worse, eh? The man says, how could you make a WhatsApp call in the tunnel? How could you make a WhatsApp call in? Let me play the video for you. Or, no, let me finish the chat first, folks. But we go play the video before the top of the hour.
I remember when they installed the antennas in that tunnel.
But Tommy, we just travel through that. Every time I go to New York, right? Either travel through the tunnel or I go to the Verrazano Narrows Bridge, but I have to come back through the Holland Tunnel.
Yep.
Or if I decide to come back through the Verrazano Narrows, right? But it's cheaper to come back through the tunnel because you don't have to pay.
True.
Yeah. I mean, it's simple. We know what we have to do, but you living in Trinidad. And Tommy, you know the thing about it, is even though we in America, it's a plenty thing. We know more than people like them, you know.
About Trinidad.
About Trinidad. Correct is right.
Yep.
Right? Because what we simply do, we do homework. We do a man, you don't let a man tell we he ain't closing on Petrochin and we run with that, you know. You know that, Tommy? We don't let a man tell we that. We don't let a man tell we that he never went on vacation and he's going to take a vacation for the first time in a year or so. And it was untrue, you know, Tommy.
And we have proof that he did.
We don't let a man tell we about Wendell Motley not on the Sandals committee, right? You know, and we know he put Wendell Motley on the Sandals committee, you know. I mean, Tommy, I was tired saying, no, Tommy. 36 years ago before I got married, let me say hello to the Prime Minister Rowley. My mother-in-law told me, a liar has no memory. 36 years ago, you know, Tommy. Okay. Mover Defender, welcome. Hello?
Hello, good day, Professor Wall Street and Uncle Tony.
How you going, brother?
Good day to you.
Yeah, I have two little issues today, but serious issues there.
Go ahead.
And I think with the responsible man you are, I think you will bring it up more. Wall Street, you know this, the power report for the hospital was laid, right?
Yeah.
But nobody didn't pick it up and run with it.
Nobody.
And that's some really,
that's
some serious things.
Yeah.
Serious implications in that.
I called a program in Trinidad and I asked him, I said, but how will you talk about the power report, boy? Go ahead.
It hit me really hard today because apparently it was some dengue fever outbreak in Trinidad and they're keeping it hush-hush.
Yeah, I listened to the what's his name? In the UNC
Excuse me for a quick minute.
Yeah. You fella talking about is what 100 and something people with dengue?
Yes. And it's confirmed. It's not who ain't going and take test. It's confirmed. So we need to highlight this a little more, about this, especially the PAHO, because the government hired the PAHO people, right? And they said a lot of damn things. The only minister said the hand picking and the cherry picking.
Yeah, correct. Correct is right. Right?
So
But-
we need to keep it like watching this is serious let's have allegations. There's a serious report.
But Mova defender, not only that, right?
Also,
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead. You go ahead. You go ahead. Go ahead.
and the next thing I want to highlight is these text messages. Well, I know Gary Griffith coming, but also I want you to know, I don't know if you saw it, that Alan Warner pulled out himself. He said he never asked for no help.
I saw that. I saw it today in the papers.
So if he
who
didn't
lying?
ask them to speed it up.
Who lying? Who's
So
this lying?
the Prime Minister office is FedEx now, or was he one in the yellow plane and then with the yellow plane?
DHL.
DHL, the Prime Minister office is DHL now. Because the Prime Minister asked him to carry anything for the man.
Mover defender.
So when are we paying the Prime Minister to be DHL then?
Mover defender. I just said 36 years ago before I get married, my mother-in-law told me a lie. I has no memory. You understand?
Well, I really appreciate what you're doing.
Yeah, man.
Now we keep the thing going because at the end of the day, we have to live here after.
Correct.
When they're gone and do all this craziness, we still have to live here.
Yep. Correct is
Enjoy
right.
evening and be safe. I'll come back here after Gary Griffith.
Yeah, man. Bless. Yeah, that is true. That is true. You know, and you know the first thing people go say, oh, them two from foreign, them two foreigners. Them that Toby, you know that's what it's called, we foreigners.
Well, they could say whatever they want.
Yeah.
All we bringing is truth to power.
Truth to power. Truth to power. Eh? Yeah, Bisram.
Yeah, you listen to his speech with the parliament where he said the SSA plan was to overthrow the government.
Yeah.
Distraction.
Right.
Yeah.
When you get some time you will play it right.
Yeah.
How you want people to come in this country when you make that kind of statement? How you want people to come? Visitors.
Yeah, but even Bisram, you know, there's a travel advisory too that just came out too, eh?
As he said that 2 days after they put up a safety thing for people have to be careful.
Yeah, man.
Coming in this country.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yes. Tommy, you know, there's another travel advisory, boy. Tommy is just so much, boy. Tommy, it's like a never ending process, boy.
It's a cycle. It's a cycle.
Yeah.
But everything is for a time.
Everything is for a time, yeah. KFC waiters. Bless Sunday.
Bless Sunday.
Yeah, man.
Same to you.
Uncle Tommy.
Yeah.
Same to you, KFC.
I don't say coconut egg about the manifesto when it was in the days I was running and thing.
What cook? Black
the independence was it was nice.
Yeah, the independence was real good, boy. Real good. Real good. Boy, it's plenty fireworks in the boy. Noise galore, you know. All night.
That was plenty fireworks.
Noise, boy. Fireworks was so.
With the report we rolling out in parliament. That man no politics, you know.
Yeah, the game credit.
Eva politics, Eva election, you know.
Boy.
That DSS. We will out to the camera. That next political can make the good.
Boy, is can make up.
I think the shock the people and while up PNM sycophants and them that.
Correct.
Yeah. That distraction.
So
it's right on time for his agenda.
And that distraction to do with the real issues that going right now in the country right now. And I don't see the beats on the radio station, them PNM talk shows and them.
Yeah. But I catch. Go ahead.
I said, no, yeah, boy, coming in just now.
Yeah, man.
Griffith and all the radio station, and then you look at the thing, lockdown listening.
Yeah, man, bless.
Yeah,
yeah. Let me go through the chat here before we get. Wasn't Jules Bernard head of the entries at that time? Darren was your demise, Professor. Everett, you know thing, boy. Everett had to know something about sports, boy. Everett, you are absolutely correct. He was the head of the entries. You see, Tommy?
Yep.
You see, you're telling truth. When you tell truth, you don't have to worry about nothing, you know. Look,
Right.
Everett, I leave out some facts, and Everett put it in for me. Everett, thank you very much. Yeah, you was the head. Hanif, good evening, good afternoon, gentlemen. Pro, what kind of Trini are you? I mean, what kind of Trini are you? Is a real Trini? A real Trini?
To the bone.
Trini to the bone, you know what I mean? You know, when you go up in Chumaka, the experience is a little different. Yeah, it's not their fault. PNMIs will say anything to discredit people if it makes them sound dotish, yeah? Hey, Tommy, look your partner. Your partner come in today. Read what you pop on the screen. I just you to read
Give
what.
them, they do not know what they say.
But Tommy, he getting good these days, and what, Tommy? What do you think happened?
Truth serum.
Bad man, aye. This chat is a mess. Needs reconfiguration. What bad man are talking about?
You talk about the chat.
Yeah, I know. Bandman said, what contract does Bartaria have? These RPM callers who seem to all hold petty contracts. Was to expose them. Or the UNC had a conference on that report. Yeah, Everett says, Professor, how do you feel being on the outside looking in that PNM cult? Knowing at one time you were part of the brainwashing of the poor black supporters. Well, Everett, let me say this, I was never part of the brainwashing. Never. And here's why I was never part. If I was part of the brainwashing, I would have sit down and not try to encourage and improve and inspire the people that I grew up with for a better tomorrow. That's why I formed the Laventil to Wall Street Scholarship Foundation. That's why I sport the Laventil to Wall Street Sports Academy. I could have just sit down and do nothing. But nah, I didn't sit down and do nothing. Because I felt to myself, being that I was supposed to be an insider, I was an insider on the outside, so to speak. I thought things would have been different. And when somebody show who they are, what does it tell me when people show you who they are? Believe them? Is that what does it?
Well, what they do, what they show you in the day, like don't wait for the night to put on the light.
Correct is right. There we go. There we go. So
you know, the thing is that so many of us out here have all these grandiose ideas for Trinidad and all these plans that we make to see if we could help improve the lot. And eventually we get disappointed more times than often.
Yep. You get disappointed. You understand? And many times you don't give up, you know.
Nope.
You don't give up. You don't
You
give up.
You can't give up. You really cannot give up. Just you have to re-strategize.
And come again. That's correct. You know, because if you give up, you know, Martin Luther King says, you know, as a matter of fact, Frederick Douglass says, power concedes nothing without a demand. It never did and it never will. Folks,
Never will.
Yeah, let me play this for you guys. This is the consummate dunce. And I'm saying that, Tommy, I'm sorry. And he has a PhD in dunceology. Listen to this dunce.
Good afternoon, Pastor. Today's election is legend. But you know something? That man just like we. I tell them already, we are not fools in Trinidad and Tobago. That is why he's in a tunnel. Which part of the Holland Tunnel is, Pastor Google?
Me, I never went to America, you know, so don't ask me.
Listen again. Where is the Holland Tunnel? You a man been to England?
Yeah.
The Holland Tunnel connects England to France. That's the Holland Tunnel, Pastor Google.
But that's where he said he was?
No, he was in America. He didn't say he was in England. He said that's the wonderful things in America. So he tried to, that's the rhetoric. He can't be in the Holland Tunnel and make a phone call. And Wolf said make a WhatsApp call, Pastor Google. Come now, man. He come like Gary Griffith, because Gary Griffith was on our program this morning telling me the 80,000 guns. If a gun dealer import our guns, based on how he was giving out guns, would have take him how many years? But then where the guns gone? If it would have take so many years, then the dealer should have all them guns. Not so? And if the dealer doesn't have it, and what we fail to realize, there is a black market for guns. If I know I ain't selling 80,000, why I'm putting in a request for 80,000? And use only one. And how much of those they have? So that man who just called from under the pavement, he's really in a tunnel. His mind is also in a tunnel. To come to full Trinbagonians to tell we he in the Honol tunnel, but in America. Pastor Google, enjoy the evening. Lies again. Wake up, please.
Thank you. Hello, good afternoon.
Fact.
Oceans.
You know, the thing is that even if Pastor Google never been to America, he could have done the research right then.
No, he did it, you know. He did it. After he realized the fella was wrong, about a few minutes later he did it. You understand? Because you know, Tommy, we speak truth. He did it after. Somebody must tell him what that fella talking there is garbology. Do some homework on it, and he did it. You understand? But that dunce, I'm saying it, I'm sorry. Yeah? Because the thing about it there, Tommy, you know what has saddened me, Tommy, is that you come into the radio station big and bold and bad.
He's sure about what he's saying. You know,
like he's absolutely sure about what he's saying. He know what he's saying. And that fella coming to fool we. Who is he? He coming to fool me. He coming to fool nobody, you know. We coming to bring truth to power. Truth. And as I said, okay, hold on, Listen to this one here.
Just this normal vaccine, COVID vaccine, all the talk they're talking. You know, you can't just walk in a health center in America and say you come for a COVID vaccine, right? Oh. So I want to tell them we just only talk. Go and live there and compare to live here and the access to things that we have. Although it might be all that good, you know. But we have it.
Yeah, that Tommy. You just can't walk in. We couldn't just walk in. And I walk in CVS and I get a COVID vaccine.
I walk in and just get a COVID vaccine too.
But listen there, boy. Them consumer dunce. I'll say it over and over. Consumer dunce.
Nobody even asked me for my insurance card.
Nobody asked you for nothing. Ask you for what? Please. There are places here on the street where you could have gone and get a COVID vaccine. But that anyway. What's this one here? Hold on.
Caller, good afternoon. Thanks for holding.
Good afternoon. I'll be in your part this morning, right? But to me, unions and the unions get the citizens productive, healthcare, fire service, stop mashing up the vehicles, police service, stop mashing up the vehicle that we could hold them accountable. I don't want to hear that. They are just keeping back my nation from moving forward. But you know something about this bank, because I just tuned in. I had a conversation with Ms. Wells some night ago. Why we using the term African to make it feel like this bank is going to change my life all of a sudden if it comes here and I take my money and put it in this bank? This bank is not a bank that the average citizen could walk in, put in a $20,000 and make a little deposit every so often and go back in a year or two and get a loan. And this is not what this bank about. A young man now going and get a work and save the money and say going in the bank and buy a car. That's not what this bank is about. This bank is if you have a business and you want to do trade with Africa, you want to sell something to Africa, you could go to the bank, get a loan, and send your product to Africa. If it has something in Africa that you want, you could go to the bank, put your money, get a loan, bring it here, and sell it. If you see a man in Africa building car, building phone, building bicycle, and you want to invest in that man, you could take your money, put it in the bank, send it for that man and invest the man. If the bicycle shop or the motor car shop turn out to be profitable, you'll get some shares. So when we talk about African bank, that's a phrase. What is the purpose of the bank? So we put in African in front to make it seem that it's a bank to come to help me and you per se. Not necessarily, you know. Enjoy your evening, brother.
Boy.
Tommy, boy?
They know everything. They know everything.
And before we go for the break, let me close this and then we go for the break. And then coming up next, folks, is NTA political leader Gary Griffith.
That's what you see.
Good afternoon again.
Jesus.
And what you understand is that the bank had to employ local people and they don't even want the local workers to pay any taxes neither.
Right.
It's not to say it's a man come from Africa and come to manage the bank and they don't want he pay no taxes. It's not just he alone because there are things in place for such. If BP Amoko bring a manager from New York, he don't pay no taxes here. He pay taxes in New York, if you understand what I'm saying. Because he is employed with BP Amoko and BP Amoko. You understand my point? Just like the bank. The bank could have that privilege, but one of the issues is that they don't even want local people who are employed to pay taxes. So a man jumped up yesterday and ball or some time ago, they're going and pay them in US dollars, and because they're going and pay them in US dollars, that is why the government do. Well, if that is the case, and the minimum wage is $20 an hour, and you're getting 20 something US dollars an hour from a bank, and you ain't want to pay no taxes in Trinidad and Tobago.
Stupidness.
And these people would call, that is why, and Tanti called just now, what is the name of the bank, Dale? What is the the bank is not a commercial, there is a difference, you know, son, between a commercial bank and an investment bank. Investment means what, son? That your money don't go there with the intention to collect interest. Your money goes there to invest it into something else like unit trust.
Right.
Unit trust is not a bank per se. But people go there and make a deposit because they are going to, at the end of the day, unit trust take your money and invest it in John Paul or go on the stock market and buy shares.
And you get a profit out of it after.
That is what the bank is about.
Yeah.
Why we average citizens understand? That is why the man said just now we could lose the money. Because we could put it in and end up like what happened to Stanford and Burdock.
Because investment also means loss.
It could crash. The stock market could go down in the morning.
Yeah. That is why you need...
Enjoy your day, boy.
Yeah, you too. That is why plenty of these
geniuses, boy. These guys are geniuses.
Tommy, if Dom had a face, I've never seen that fella, but I would like to see his face. We're gonna go for a break, folks. It's Sunday Talk. Let's talk politics with Uncle Tommy, Professor Washington, and you. Coming up next, we're gonna have the NTA political leader Gary Griffith joining us here on Sunday Talk. Let's talk politics. We'll be right back. Stick and stay. Don't go nowhere. Boy, Tommy, boy.
Sad stuff.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio, WZYE 95.9 FM.
This is your boy WZYE, baby.
Yo, what it does, this your homie Rick Ross. This is your boy Gucci Man LaFleur.
You're in the mix with Sunday Talk, Let's Talk Politics with Uncle Tommy and Professor Wall Street.
It's crazy.
Hey, I'm Ariana Grande. Hey, yo, this Cardi B. What's up? It's Megan Thee Stallion.
You're in the mix with Sunday Talk, Let's Talk Politics with Uncle Tommy and Professor Wall Street.
Check this out, it's DJ Khaled.
This is Post Malone. Yes, that little Chico Pitbull.
You're in the mix with Sunday Talk, Let's Talk Politics with Uncle Tommy and Professor Wall Street.
This is check this out, it's DJ Khaled.
This is Post Malone.
Oh Lord, Trinidad and Tobago. This is DJ Bravo. I'm hurting it up.
This is a sad place. My country turned into a sad place. When I look around, it's only sad face. Our country turned into a sad place. All I see in front of me, nightmares turn into reality. Like somebody build a monster factory. Parliament up in parliament economy. But if the moderators in another body in a drain. Somebody girl child missing, another rape again. And next road stain with somebody's sunburn. Who take the F out of Port of Spain? This is a sad place. My country turned into a sad place. When I look around, it's only sad face. Our country turned into a sad place.
No audio, no audio.
Yeah, that's me. Of course, folks, we are back with you. It's Sunday Talk. Let's talk politics with Uncle Tommy, Professor Wall Street, and you. We have with us on the line the political leader of the National Transformation Alliance, the man himself, the one and only, Gary Griffith. Gary, welcome.
Yeah, Harley. Good afternoon. I'm hardly hearing you.
Okay, hold on. Let me try to see if I put this up. How about that? Is that better?
Hello?
Is that better? Gary, is that better?
Yeah, yes.
All right, okay. So how are you going today?
Welcome, Gary.
Not too bad at all.
Yeah. So, Gary, you know, sometimes I could ask myself, where do we start, right? Because it seemed like it doesn't matter. But Gary, let me ask you a question. Why do you believe the Prime Minister Worry lies so much? I'm being honest with you. Why do you think he lies so much? What do you think it is?
Hi, the volume is very low. I'm hardly hearing you at all.
Okay, hold on.
I don't know what's causing that.
Just a minute. Is that any better? Is that any better?
Nope.
Nope.
No, it's very low.
All right. Let me try calling you back. I'll call you back. Let me try calling you back.
Okay.
I'll call you right back. Yeah. Okay, let me see. I got the volume up here. All right. Let me try calling him back and see what happens.
Yeah, the volume's a bit low today.
It's a bit low?
Yeah, I thought so too.
Let me see if there's anything here with the the volume is all the way up there.
No, it just sounded a little louder.
It sounded louder now?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me try again. Let me try here. Hold on.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, is that any better?
Yeah. I could work with this. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we were just saying, Gary, before we get into the meat of what we want to talk about, why is it that when it pertains to you, there always seem to be misinformation coming from the Prime Minister? Or lies? Let's be honest, lies. Why is that?
Yeah, sure. Well, he probably has realized that it is a very good way politically. I think he's a shrewd politician. He's very tactical. He realized that when you say the same lie, especially in this country, over and over, people would believe you. It worked with Emailgate. Remember, our government was removed in 2015 because Keith Rowley just kept pushing ahead. They're corrupt, they're thief, they're no good. And people started buying into it just because he said so. And 5 years later, I don't think one person has been arrested even in that government for corruption. So that is how he operates. He goes out of his way and doubles down on lies and pushes it and pushes it and pushes it. He continues to talk about, every time he speaks, he's always talking about who drunk, who drinking their rum, who drinking their thing. Yet he is the main politician in the whole Caribbean that always has a drink in his hand more than anybody else in functions and events. So he knows how to wile up his base. He knows how to influence them. Because if he says that he could build a rocket ship to go to Mars, they will believe him. And that's the unfortunate thing with politics in this country. We have a point where politicians can just say what they want and people automatically believe it. I mean, just look at this. For the last 3 years, going on 4 years, he has continued to speak about firearm corruption. And you know, there are people here who are stupid enough in this country to say, yes, it's true. And when you say why, because Keith Rowley says so. Not one person in the 3 years I was Commissioner of Police has been charged for any matter as it pertains to firearms under those 3 audits that he did. Yet people claim massive corruption. And that, so therein lies the rationale behind Keith Rowley continuing to double down on his lies.
You know, Gary, I saw something in the newspapers, right, with the NTA working with the Strategy Institute of TT. Can you talk a little more about that? Because I think when I read it, I think it was something that was excellent as far as, you know, a kind of a different idea when you look at a political party and different things they're trying to do as far as the country is concerned. So talk a little bit about that.
Listen, I'm really trying my best to hear what you're saying. I mean, it is garbled. It is very low. I don't know what seems to be the problem.
Yeah. Let me see.
This afternoon, what is it cause? I'm struggling to hear what you're saying. I'm really sorry.
Okay. I don't know. Let me hold on. Stay right there. Let me try something. Let me see if I try a different. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can try. Hold on a minute, Gary. Hold on a minute.
Okay.
How about that? Is that any better?
Yeah, sure. Good.
All right. So I have a different. I try a different mic here just to see, right? So yes. So getting back to the point now, I wanted to talk about the Strategy Institute of TT, where you talked about the things that they are doing, you know, because and your political party sort of working with them should you guys get into government. Talk about that a little bit.
Oh, yeah, sure. So what has happened? We would have seen, and everyone knows that anytime the third major political party joins with the other major political party outside of the PNM, it spells defeat for the PNM, which is why Rowley's whole, people are wondering, how come this man is always attacking Gary Griffith? It's always about Gary Griffith. It's hardly ever about Kamla or Rudy Munilal or Dave Tanku or anybody in the UNC. Because, again, he's a shrewd guy. He's a smart, tactical guy. He understands that going after Gary Griffith, trying to bring down, destroy, even try to jail Gary Griffith, it might help me win because that third party joining with the UNC will always spell defeat for him. So that's what he's doing. So that third party usually, it started from since 1986 with the ONR joining with the then ULF to win an election. And then we would have seen the COP doing the same with the UNC in 2010. The problem that exists, however, is that when these political parties just join together to amalgamate votes to beat the PNM, there's no proper structure when you get into government. And that's why the both administrations, that coalition did not work out, because there was no glue to cement the parties together. It was sort of seen as a cosmetic marriage of convenience just to be the PNM, just to get in government. And I think you see that Bridge constituency, they are very intelligent persons. They are very very sensitive, and they're not foolish. They are not going to state, well, look, let's just join up with the UNC and let the UNC just join up with Gary first to win an election. They want to make sure that this can work, that there's some degree of substance, some direction, some vision, a mission, a goal to ensure that this can be of value. Yes, the vast majority of the country, they want PNM out, but they do not want to remove the PNM and to bring an unstable government or a government that is going to, where it's going to be seen that the UNC did what they did to the COP in 2010 to 2015 that caused the total annihilation of the COP eventually. So what we have done now, which is good, it's not that what the NTA have done. We've found out that there must be the substance to bind the parties together. In the People's Partnership, there was something called the Pfizer Accord. That was really comical. It was a document that virtually had the COP sign over to the UNC. You will be the Prime Minister, you will decide everything, and then we'll get in government and you will decide who's the Speaker of the House, President of the Senate, the Senators, the Ministers, the Ambassadors, the State Board members, and we will get whatever you give us. And obviously the COP became sidelined. What this is the Strategy Institute of Trinidad and Tobago. This comprised, in contrast to what the newspaper article said today, not 25, but over 250 of the best minds available throughout the country in different arms of what is required to improve the country, whether it be national security, health, education, the economy, arms of the public service, youth development, social systems, sport, and so forth. So with that now, what they have is a roadmap towards good governance. Usually political parties before an election will just speak about, we'll build better roads for you, and we'll build more police stations in every street corner, and we'll build hospitals. That's a Christmas wish to try to hope you could brainwash the public into voting for you. That is not how you transform a country. That's not how you improve the productivity of a country or the government. So this strategy, Institute of Trinidad and Tobago, is something where they have come together and the best minds have come up with a proper roadmap towards the transformation of Trinidad and Tobago. And they have done this presentation to several other political parties. And if these other parties, inclusive of the UNC, the NTA, the ABC, the XYZ, whoever, have all come to a common agreement that this is the structure that is going to get us into government and to remain in government, giving us that role, that vision, and that objective, it is going to get the country to believe and buy into the fact that this is something that would work. So it is going to be an umbrella body of political parties with a common mission, a common goal, a common objective, and it is going to last, and it is going to see the massive transformation of Trinidad and Tobago.
So, Gary, can we say this organization is like a think tank organization?
Yes, spot on. It is that. Because these are independent persons who are not political. There may be some who may be PNM, some may be UNC, some may be independent. But this Strategy Institute, it is not a political body. So they could have sent this to the PNM, but the PNM has a style that unless you're PNM, we don't want to hear from you. We don't want to hear what you have to say. That is where they lack vision. So that even when they had their Vision 2020, the majority of Vision 2020 was designed around people involved in the PNM. And other very few political parties, if any, had any input to make in it. That's why when the government changed, there was no Vision 2020 and they moved to 2030. And it will move to 2080, 2090 as the years go by. So the PNM never has that type of political maturity to embrace persons that may not have that Balize party card in their back pocket. These individuals have offered it to any political party. We see the value of it because how I operate, this is not about you being an NTA, so I want to work with you. When we get in government, if there's someone who's a PNM, but I see that person has the capability and the maturity to help the country, I would welcome that individual. That is what you call political maturity, and that's what the country needs, because the country has been divided for far so long because of persons using politics to divide the country, and we have been failing because of it. So this Strategy Institute is an independent body comprising some of the best minds available in different fields where they've come up to ascertain how best we can transform Trinidad and Tobago. I'll give you a simple example, health. In Trinidad and Tobago, we are ranked about 96th in the world when it pertains to health, to life expectancy. I think our life expectancy is about 74 years average per person. Not too bad, we will say, fair enough, out of over 201, 202 countries. Most of the countries at the lower echelon will be, their life expectancy is in the mid-50s. Countries in the higher life expectancy will be from 80 to 85. That's Hong Kong, Macau, and most European countries. Why can't Trinidad and Tobago move up? The reason being is that in Trinidad and Tobago, 65% of our deaths have been primarily because of just three ailments: the heart, cancer, and vascular diabetes and stuff. So because of that, persons, where if they cannot afford these treatments, where sometimes it is very expensive, and if you go into the public sector, you have to wait a long while. So, for example, with your heart, a lot of persons in Trinidad have this thing where they get clogged arteries. Not something too difficult to see about, but if you have clogged arteries, and then it is that you have to spend several months before you finally get operated on to clear the artery, your heart has been damaged. So by the time you finally get your appointment in the public sector, your heart has been so damaged, it reduces your life expectancy. The same thing with cancer. If it is that you don't immediately get treatment for chemotherapy, it means that the cancer might probably spread by the time you're treated through the public sector, and it will diminish your chances of survival because the cancer has already spread and it is now too late. If we put proper focus at every single citizen, based on these three factors, that ailments, we can ensure immediate treatment for you. My goal is to see that we can have that life expectancy for Trinidad and Tobago from 74 years to 80 plus years. And I think there's every single family, not one has not considered they have not been affected by either someone that they know, whether it's their grandparents, their parents, a close friend, family, cousin, loved one, involved in being affected from cancer, heart ailment or vascular. So that is a simple example of how we can transform Trinidad and Tobago. You would have never heard something like this by any political party over the last decades. You'll hear, let's build a hospital, let's do this, let's get more beds for the hospital. And it is all cosmetic. We are doing it from a very scientific and strategic situation to improve every arm of the public service. And the reason I say that it can work, I did the same with the police service. The police service was seen as the most corrupt, the most incompetent, the most disliked, the least trusted, because public trust and confidence was 14%. Because I use the same type of system similar to the Strategy Institute of Trinidad and Tobago for the police service, by putting systems of good leadership, accountability, managing performance, and making them and proper management, it transformed the public trust and confidence to 59%, from the lowest to the highest. And after I left, those same principles they removed, and now it is 8%, the lowest. So it shows that leadership and the persons who hold the position can transform every arm in the public service in Trinidad and Tobago.
You know, Gary, when I saw the Strategy Institute of Trinidad and Tobago, I was doing homework for the program now. I said, but this is something that's really, really excellent. And I never heard of it before prior to reading the article with you in it and talking about the Strategy Institute of Trinidad and Tobago. So I think that's an excellent idea for the country. And, when you talk about trying to bring things a little different than normal, because that institute have been there for some time, right?
No, yes, yeah, it is, and governments have ignored it because of the usual factor. Well, listen, who you feel you are. You're not a this or that. You're not one of us, and that is the problem. I mean, and this is not. I'm not here to shut down and discredit other persons, but let's look at it from a simple perspective. Right now, we have someone who spends more time boasting that he's the chair of the National Security Council, always boasting about it. But if you are the chairman of the National Security Council, what is your experience, training, and qualification in national security? The man's qualification is that to massage rocks and stones to ascertain whether they're igneous, sedimentary, or metamorphic. So he's a geologist. And I'm not saying that you have to be a specialist in everything, but then you go to finance. You have a man who's a minister of finance and can't even balance a budget, and billions of dollars cannot be accounted for. You have a minister of sport who said point blank she has never kicked a lime in her life. We have a minister of communication. I ask you now, tell us who's the minister. You will think the minister of communication is the first minister you should know. The man has never had a press conference or made a media release in his life. He doesn't know how to communicate. Therein lies the problem, because you get in the government, you put persons as candidates in constituencies, and then you try to pigeonhole and box them now into a ministry, because you have to make as many of your MPs ministers to ensure they toe the line, so that you will keep your government intact, so that they wouldn't be upset and offended because you give them a perk. And therein lies the problem, because you get appointed as a member of parliament. Instead of seeing about your constituency, they make you a minister. You're never in your constituency to look after the well-being of those persons who voted for you in office. And then you run a ministry where you have no knowledge whatsoever. So what we are doing is, and then when they appoint you, call them, you become Minister of Finance. Okay, well, let me just get 5 persons together and come up with a finance plan for the country. Then you can't run a country like that. So we are putting up a template in preparation for getting in government. So when we get in government, the minister already has the idiot's guide, if you want to call it that, to show this is your yardstick, this is your goal, this is your short term from 1 to 2 years, your medium term, the third year, and your long term, 4th and 5th year, to transform your ministry in and to help the country. That now is good, and it means that these individuals will just be good managers trying to deal with achieving the objectives as stipulated from that roadmap towards good governance.
I don't want to stay on this part here too long, Gary, but the part with the 70,000 rounds of ammunition that was purchased by the SSA and reported missing and has been unaccounted for. But Gary, doesn't something like that goes to the head of the National Security Council if you have 70,000 rounds of ammunition missing? I'm just asking.
No, unfortunately it doesn't. In a banana republic, that is. In any other developed country, the person responsible will never be government. They will the politicians. So in other words, even if there was a perception of massive firearm corruption, Blame the public servant, blame the commissioner or the chief of defense staff. Don't blame the minister. Under Keith Rowley, the ministers could never be wrong. The ministers could never do anything wrong, and that's why it's the same. So when he actually boasts about the fact that Kamala changed so many ministers. Well, the fact of the matter is that maybe she might have done it too much, because her thing is, if you don't perform, if there's a red flag on you, if there's somebody that's questioning something you have done, I will have you removed. In this country, you're seeing Fitzgerald Hines is undoubtedly the most incompetent minister in any ministry in the history of Trinidad and Tobago. And the more you tell Keith Rowley that, his arrogance will double down to say, well, I'm definitely not moving him now. And that is the style of Keith Rowley. People say that Earl Chris is the worst commissioner ever. It is the lowest public trust and confidence in the history of Trinidad and Tobago's police service. And he will double down to reappoint as commissioner. That is how he operates. Colin Imbert has been failing miserably as a Minister of Finance. The only avenue he has to inject funds to inject an increase into income is to find different ways to have taxes. That shows his ignorance and understanding how to balance a budget. And Keith Rowley will deliberately continue to put him there. So therein lies the problem. So when you go back to the 70,000 rounds, it is not any politician will be responsible. He tries to blame the director of the SSA. What is unfortunate is that you do an audit, and when you do the audit, you never spoke to the person who was in charge of the organization to ask him, can you explain where the 70,000 wrongs went? And the information that I am picking up is that the wrongs never arrived at the SSA, or that the wrongs were actually utilized because the SSA in Komuto is a training ground used by many police officers, soldiers, sailors on a regular basis. Komuto Barracks was under the control of SORT, S-A-U-T-T, not S-O-R-T. That is the PNM SORT, the Special Anti-Crime Unit. And then it was the PNM government that transferred SORT location, which was Komuto Barracks, to the SSA. So the SSA became the custodian for all of the firearms and ammunition that was previously under the Defense Force and the police service. The country doesn't understand that. So they just hear Keith Rowley go into Parliament, where's the one place that you can lie, smear the character of others, and you can't be sued or you cannot be questioned, and then says that, and people just accept it. What this man has done is demonized church-going people. I am a Christian, and I am shocked that people could sit back, persons who are in charge of religious organizations, persons who are God-fearing, whether you're Muslim, Hindu, Christian, hearing this man demonize persons because they worship their God, because they serve their God. That is something that you should look forward to. And instead, he has demonized them to try to refer to them as something similar to a Jim Jones cult. And why? Because they are God-fearing. It has been stated that and prophesied that persons who serve their God will be targeted by evil elements as time go by. And we are seeing that now, because 23 people have been fired. Out of these 23, they were all polygraphed and they all passed. So on what grounds can you determine that they were involved in criminal or some degree of activity to destabilize the country? I think 2 alone were members of the church, but he gave the impression that there was a massive conspiracy involving people in the church. There are 400 members of the SSA, 485, sorry, and 8 or 9 alone were involved in that church. And you turn this into a Jim Jones cult? And up to now, after all of these comments, you have the audacity, not one person has been arrested, not one person charged, not one name called as it pertains to your statement that there's a massive coup, a revolt, terrorist activities, a plan to destabilize the country, a cult. He has now destroyed any degree of confidence any international ally would want to have to invest in this country. He has destroyed any possibility of any tourist wanting to come to this country. We have already been red flagged by several countries, including the United States, because of his comments. And you know why? Because you have made these accusations and the individuals you claim have not been charged, which means that the coup members, the terrorists, the assassins, the people who intend to destabilize the government, they're still out there. So you have made an accusation about the country being under a risk to be totally overthrown, but the people who may be involved are still out there. And then you still have the SSA running. Who's to say they are not sleeper cells? So he has totally made a mess of this, embarrassed Trinidad and Tobago, and it shows his incompetence and to show that he's not fit to hold office in this country.
Now, Gary, you talk about a cult, right? Do you believe that the government is trying to implicate you in trying to overthrow the government by hatching this cult perspective? Where do you believe this cult plot came from?
Well, ladies, I can't put my head on a block for anyone. But the fact is that if there is a cult, and when you use that word cult, that's a very powerful statement. Using a cult and then trying to refer to them as being part of a plot to overthrow the government, being involved in terrorist activities, and forming a coup. You can't make those accusations and not have people arrested or call names. So this is the same thing he does. He did the firearm audit, and with the 3 audits that he called, not one person can be called, not one firearm has been seized, and not one person charged. That is what he does. So he makes these wild allegations in the hope that the blind PNM supporters, thankfully the numbers keep diminishing daily, because they're starting to realize the man, he cannot be serious. Because going back to the firearms, he said in Parliament simultaneously with the SSA lies that persons who were involved in domestic violence got firearms. That is impossible because your wife must approve it. You never call one name of anybody who did that or have their weapons seized. 2, he then stated that persons were involved in committing criminal activity and were getting firearms. That is impossible because you must get a certificate of character. And if it is they did get it like that, why don't you call their name, and why wasn't anyone weapon seized like that? 3, he said that persons were altering their weapons from semi-automatic, which they are entitled to automatic. That is a criminal offense. Why don't you call the name of those persons, have their firearms seized, and have them charged? He then said that in these reports, persons actually admitted paying bribes to get firearms, and people accepted the bribes. Well, if that is the case, why hasn't anyone been charged? Why haven't the weapons been confiscated and the names called? That is what he does. So just like the firearm lies he has made, he has done the same thing with the SSA. You have made these statements, and if it is true, well, then call names, charge people. But you make this wild statement, and let me tell you why he has done this. The man is very bright. He did the same thing with the email gate. Email gate, he went and he made all of these accusations and then ran to Parliament to hide so he wouldn't be sued by us, and then made it, and people actually believed it, which played a part towards the change on government in 2015. So it worked once. He's hoping he could do it again. And let me show you the hypocrisy and how deceitful this man could be. In that email gate report, it stated that Gary Griffith was involved in trying to, in an attempt to assassinate a media reporter. And he said he believed what was in that email gate report. So if he believed what was in that email gate report, why would you have put me and appointed me and recommended me to be commissioner of police? The only reason he could have recommended somebody to be commissioner of police is because he was sure that that person was above any reproach of that he could be involved in criminal activity. So which means he knew the email gate was false. He knew it was a lie, but he still doubled down on it. And that is how Kate Rowley operates. Keep saying the same lie over and over and hope people will believe it.
You know, it's funny you talk about email gates, right? In this country here, one of my person who was my mentor, he was one of the one had worked on that email gate, and he told them that email gate was fake. I remember that I sat in the office there, and he had interviewed one of the PNM financiers. I think the fella have a last name. He used to open for Trinidad at one time. Anyway, it starts with a G.
Right.
Yeah, and he told them that those emails were fake. He told them that, but they didn't want that narrative. They wanted a different narrative, you know. And he had told them that. But Gary, just before you came on, right, I wanted to look at some of the characteristics of when people talk about a cult, right? So according to the Cult Education Institute, there are specific warning signs to look out for when considering whether a group might be a cult. Cults are characterized by, right? It says zero tolerance for criticism or questions. I mean, I know a person who is the prime minister, zero tolerance for criticism or questions, right? Abuse of members. Followers feeling they are never able to be good enough. A belief that the leader is right at all times. A belief that the leader is the exclusive means of knowing truth or giving validation. Absolute authoritarianism without accountability. So when I look at some of these characteristics, I am wondering if the Prime Minister in his leadership is carrying on certain, based on these characteristics here, certain cult characteristics. But we leave that there, Gary.
No, we shouldn't, because I actually said that in my media conference.
Yeah.
The only cult that I am aware of in Trinidad and Tobago is the cult led by Keith Rowley, because he's trying to allude to church-going people being involved in a cult. There's absolutely not a shred of evidence he has to justify that, none. And I challenge him to show how it is you have referred to these church-going people as a cult. You know what his concern is? There are several persons who were soldiers, sailors, police officers attending a church. That becomes a crime in this country. That becomes a problem. And I think it's something that I am of great concern. I am a Catholic. I went to church this morning. And if it is out of, I think 90% of the persons will be over 50 years old, which is a very sad indication that young persons are not understanding the importance of serving your God and sacrificing 1 hour out of 176 hours for the week. And instead of us as leaders trying to show the importance and values of religion, you are trying to demonize persons and call them a cult, and then try to refer to them as Jim Jones. There's no Kool-Aid that was going on in the SSA. The only Kool-Aid is the Balizé juice that he probably tries to feed on people, and then they drink it. Anything he says, they would believe. And again, going back to the email gate, there was, again, it's only because of that Balizé juice from the cult of the PNM that people believe it was to be true. Because anybody who knows anything about emails, there was 17 blatant things to show that it was typewritten, it was not an email. Anand Ramlogan is ANAND. They had 1 minute they had ANAND, and next thread they had ANAN. You can't have a message being moved from one to the other. Another message had somebody's name at mail.com. There's no provider with mail.com. They had others where they put a comma in .com instead of a full stop. Is whatever is Hotmail or Gmail.com. They put comma. So it means that these things could never have been forwarded. And we had over 150,000 people in this country so naive, believed it. And you're seeing it as written as a typewritten document. But because of what is there, they just had to believe it because they love the PNM and they hate everybody else. That is what I'm trying to change in this country. Getting people stop being so blinded to follow your leaders foolishly, including myself. If it is that I am doing wrong, pull me up, check me, and do not have a leader treat you as if you are a member of a cult because you're drinking too much of the Balizé Kool-Aid.
Now, Gary, let's move to a kind of, I don't know if it's a sensitive topic or if it's a topic you want to talk about. We look at Alan Warner today in the news talking about he didn't ask anybody for help with respect to FUL. So here is the question. Did Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley and Stuart Young ask you to fast-track a firearm user's license and a quarry blasting license for businessman Alan Warner?
Hello?
Yeah, you hear me? Did you hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you. Yeah.
All right. So we're talking about FUL, and there's the question: did Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley and Stuart Young ask you to fast-track a firearm user's license and a quarry blasting license for businessman Alan Warner?
Yes. What's the question? I'm starting to lose you again.
Okay, here it is. Did Prime Minister Rowley and Stuart Young ask you to fast-track a firearm user's license and a quarry blasting license for businessman Alan Warner?
Yeah, so there was communication between the Prime Minister and myself and Stuart Young and myself as it pertained to a status report of these things, and asked me if it is in some way can be expedited or dealt with and looked into to see if it is that I can make it happen much faster than obviously because the process obviously was being longer than they would have expected. And let me clarify this. When people are condemning the Prime Minister, I don't see, there's not a problem with that really, I mean, the problem exists in that if somebody realizes that they want to get something done, you have to have a friend in high places. And that is part of that strategy Institute of Trinidad and Tobago. People should not reach a point in a country where you must have a friend and you must have a string to try to get something done in the public service. That shows incompetence, which becomes a room and a window for corruption. So the Prime Minister asking me or Stuart Young or whoever, can you follow up on this? Gary, this thing taking so long. See if you could find out what's the delay. Gary, see if you could fast track that. That is not a problem. It only becomes a problem if the commissioner decides to do it and the person was not entitled to it. If the person would have failed what was required. So people will usually do that. Even when I was the Minister of National Security, I was bombarded with letters from persons asking for the FUL status, and I will send it to the Commissioner of Police for his consideration because that's what I got. So that is not the problem. The problem exists is that these are the same individuals who condemn me when I was trying to provide similar firearms to the small businessman, to the farmer, to the homeowner who wants to protect his family, to the person involved in sport. So why is it that it's okay for you to contact me to see if I can deal with the process to get somebody closely aligned to you or close to you to get a license? But when I'm doing it for others, it became a problem. There was one senior minister that asked me for about 15 firearms. And if this was done for every single minister in the PNM government, in the lower and the upper house and their state board members and stuff, which is about 50 or 60, multiply that by 15, that is 750. So the PNM is trying to say that our 50 who's who, each of us could be entitled to ask you for 15 firearms for our friends in high places, which comes up, the number would have been 750 to 800 odd, which would have been almost the same amount of firearms that I was issuing for the rest of the 1.4 million citizens in the country that they thought was too much. So that is the point. The double standard and the hypocrisy, it is mind-boggling. And then after, what I produced would have been to 0.3% of the population, 0.3%. There were over 25,000 applications, and I was giving out 1,200 odd a year to civilians. It meant that would have taken me about 25 years to deal with the backlog because of the incompetence of commissioners before me who did not do their job. And they saw that as being a problem, and they continued to double down on Gary was giving out too many guns. But then it's okay to call me to tell me, I have somebody that I know in Tobago, he wants a dealership license, see if you could make it happen for him so that thousands of more could be sold. Or you have a senior security minister who has asked me for nearly 15 firearms for people closely aligned to you. And these people may very well need it, They may very well be a reason for it. My point is the hypocrisy and the double standard, that it's okay for Warner or a firearm dealer to get one or a blasting license because you contacted me. But when I try to do it for the small man who doesn't have a contact in the government, that becomes a problem. That is not democracy. That is hypocrisy. And therein lies the problem.
So Gary, so why?
Oh, and let me also add, okay. It is interesting that Mr. Warner on the front page today said he never asked anyone for a favor to get anything fast tracked, and he may be correct. But then how did Keith Rowley and Stuart Young know about it, that he had an application? And why would Stuart Young and Keith Rowley ask me about it if it wasn't for me to look into it and to pull it up to get it fast tracked? So that is the question that the public should ask. So the PNM lovers who say, well, no, he want to say that he didn't ask for it to be fast tracked. But then how would a prime minister and a security minister at the time have confidential information pertaining to who had applied for a firearm?
So Gary, so the prime minister is telling untruth when he stated that he did not ask you for any FUL to be fast tracked for businessman Alan Warner.
You see what he's using the word fast track. That's what he does. So he wouldn't use the word fast track. But by contacting a commissioner, you want me to be able to look into it and to pull out the file to see if it could be done at a faster basis. Because if you didn't have that concern, you would let it run through the normal course of events. But because it was probably taking longer than it should, you had a concern and you contacted the commissioner. So be it. But what about the other 25,000 applicants who have been waiting for 15 years and they can't even get a response? And that is why I dealt with the FULs in a different manner, because police officers at stations, they were refusing to even have the application sent up to the FUL department, and they were holding it back, and that is where the extortion and the blackmail and the bribery was taking place. So when Keith Rowley foolishly says, and Gary Griffith decided to override the decision made by junior officers. That's why they are junior officers. That's why I'm a commissioner of police, because I could override their incorrect decision, because they were rejecting certain persons, stating there's no threat to their life. There is nothing in the law that says that we have a right to reject you because there's no threat to your life. What we were rejecting you for is if you have a criminal offense, if we see you at DUI matters, driving under the influence, if it is that you have domestic violence matters, if it is that the weapon cannot be secured. So if I see you deliberately not giving someone the entitlement of application, then it is my right to override it. And that is what I did.
So Gary, how could you believe anything the Prime Minister says, right? When Alan Warner is saying he never asked anyone, including his friend Prime Minister Raleigh, for any help in obtaining a firearm user's license and a blasting license for mining operation. When there is correspondence between yourself and the Prime Minister indicating that, can you nudge this forward a little bit? My words, not yours. Can you nudge this thing forward a little bit?
Yeah, sure. And the question is to all the PNM till die lovers, if what Warner's saying is true, and I can't question that, then the question must be asked, how did Keith Rowley and Stuart Young know that he had an application in there in the first place? They are politicians. They would know what applications would be on the tray of the Commissioner of Police or the FUL department for a blasting license or for a firearm. So how would they know? How would Keith Rowley know that someone had an application to have a firearm dealership? And he would have contacted me. So how would they have gotten this information unless the individuals who had the application had either contacted them or contacted somebody else who brought it to the Prime Minister or the then Security Minister's attention? So when Stuart Young wants to speak about what is defamatory, there's a lot more messages that I have, and Mark will start a bus election season draws near. Because they have now decided to come into the ring with me, and their only sole purpose is to see how best they could try to discredit Gary Griffith and try to get him arrested. They tried with 3 audit reports with the firearms. It failed miserably. It exposed their incompetence, their mismanagement, and their lack of ethics by trying to utilize their positions as politicians to try to arrest persons and defame them. They then tried it with the SSA. It also fell flat. There's another one that they're coming with shortly to question procurement regulation decisions made with me as Commissioner of Police. I was able to cut over $300 million in overtime corruption, try to remove all of the rogue elements in the police service, and then utilize those funds to get tasers, pepper spray, body cameras, rapid response unit, operational command center, online reporting, 482 Gary, police app. All of these things, reigniting the police marine branch, having the highest visibility of police never seen before in the history of this country. And in return, you want to try to question me as to my procurement methods and how it is I got it done. I did it within the law. And the Minister of National Finance, does not have the moral authority to be questioning anyone until he could account to the country for the billions that cannot be accounted for because he cannot balance a budget as exposed by the Auditor General. Additionally, if it is that they want to speak about procurement regulations, the main procurement regulation that is the biggest procurement flow in the history of Trinidad and Tobago was when government decided to give me $45 million TT injected into the police account. Then tell me, utilize these funds to hire specific attorneys in the United Kingdom, pay them the money, and then have them turn them into SRP, Special Reserve Police, for them to be judge, jury, and executioner, and then direct me as to what are the investigations they must put and focus on, which would have been investigations solely towards trying to arrest political opponents. Any other non-banana republic country in the world, based on what I just said, that government would have collapsed and they would have been called for a new election.
So Mr. Griffith, these,
yes.
I have a WhatsApp message here, and this is December the 16th, 2019. Don't forget the FUL for Alan Warner. I could drop it off if it's ready. Yes, sir, handling this morning. Send it to me, and I will take it up to him on Thursday. So how could the Prime Minister, come out publicly and make it feel like if he doesn't know anything about this FUL here? I mean,
exactly. As I said, the other messages and stuff I have, that is a tea party compared to what I'll start to bring out. Keith Rowley, I didn't draw first blood. You wanted to, I was very calm, ready to have served my country and move on. You see, when he decided to try to demonize me and lie about me and smear my character, the one thing I'm going to take with me and make sure that remains on this world when I leave is my good name. And that, Trinidad and Tobago, how it is that you as a Prime Minister, you are volunteering yourself to be a postman to deliver FUL for someone. That is where you have reached as a Prime Minister. But it is not the first time that he has tried to be a postman. He delivered a document signed by a civilian with no authority. The man was not an official report. Took that and send that to the Police Service Commission chairman, Bliss C. Prasad, used the president's house as a post office to give her a piece of paper that was worth the value of the paper itself it was printed on, because the person who wrote that, it was not an official report. And then you'd use that as an avenue to stop a merit list for someone to be appointed as commissioner of police. So he has been a postman before. And this is him yet again volunteering to be a postman to get a FUL and to deliver it personally for someone. Wow, Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah. That is what you want as a prime minister?
No, Gary, also, though, there was one from Stuart Young. Gary, good morning. What is going on with the blasting license for Warner and Tobago? Did reports go to OSHA? We need to get the blasting license done. I mean,
yeah, and again, likewise.
Yeah.
When you're a minister, you're bombarded with requests, and then you know, so whether you're minister of health, somebody saying, "Listen, I need to get chemotherapy done. Can you speak to the director in the Northwest region?" The minister could pick up his phone and ask, "What's the status? Can you all fast track it? Can you all see about it? What's the hold up? What's the delay?" And and my point is, there's nothing wrong with what Stuart and Keith Rowley did. That's my personal view. Right. However, the problem lies is that why it's only selected for people that you know and not the others who also require it. What makes Alan Warner more equal than the farmer, the businessman, the shop owner, the homeowner who wants to protect his wife and his daughters from being raped or kidnapped? That is the point. Why it is that we have reached such a point of dictatorship where politicians feel that they must have full control to decide who must have the authority and the approval to get firearms in this country. Anytime you reach like that, that is a sign of dictatorship, and that is my problem.
No, Gary, do you know if Alan Warner actually received his FUL and blasting license?
No, I wouldn't. I see, now we will be going to a threshold of me trying to give information as it pertains to the security of the individual. So the decision that was made, whether he received it or not, I wouldn't venture into speaking about it. But we already, the main concern is the applications, the process. And what Keith Rowley's concern was legitimate, because people, as I said, 25,000 applications. Some people waited 10, 15 years. The commissioners before me, from Stephen Williams, Philbert, and so forth, there was not even one responding to these applicants. I responded to everyone by making a statement to everybody. Listen, I cannot give you back a firearm even though your application has been 10, 15 years. Anybody who would have applied over the last 3 years, you need to reapply, because things would have changed. Your address, your psychological testing, your marriage status, stuff like that. Your certificate of character will need a new one. That is how you operate as a professional. So I have been demonized for being too efficient, for being too effective. And as I said, I gave out 6,000 to 7,000 firearms out of 25,000 applications. Half of those were to law enforcement officials, past and present, who needed it, because we have a stupid system here. You put your life on the line on patrol, a gang member threatens you, you now go back to the station, you have to hand in your weapon, and now you go back home where you could be targeted. So half of those weapons were to law enforcement officials. You have a problem with that? And there are 20,000 law enforcement officials in Trinidad and Tobago. So me giving out 1,000 a year, it would have taken 20 years to deal with all of those, not even to talk about the previous ones who retired. And then out of the 25,000 civilian applicants, I was giving out 1,000 to 1,400 a year. That again would have taken 25 years, because others would have kept applying. You have a problem with that? And so if you look at Ulla Christopher's system, where she gives out 100 a year, and there are 25,000 applicants, I'm not too good in maths, but it will take 250 years before we deal with all the applicants right now. That is the standard of the PNM.
You know, I just said Ulla Christopher, you just jogged my memory there. Gary, I see Ulla Christopher is doing a mailbox if people want to put in send messages to the TTPS. Was that from 1950 or that is from 2024?
Yeah, well, Ulla Christopher, one of my favorite shows was Jurassic Park. Ulla Christopher is now actually going to star in Jurassic Park 4, because it's the prehistoric era of people like Ulla Christopher. You see, the Ulla Christopher, the McDonald Jacob, the Stephen Williams, their type of policing is to wear gabardine, hold a cane, and stay up in an office and don't actually deal with the problems on the ground. What we introduced that was a big part towards changing public confidence and trust from 14% to 59% is accessibility. There's been no public servant in the history of Trinidad and Tobago that made themselves more accessible than I did. Which politician you ever know gave your personal number contact me if you have an issue. Let me know. By doing that, I was bombarded with hundreds of messages daily on that phone through WhatsApp or text of concerns, of information, of follow-up of firearms that not being dealt with, of persons who they are aware of, police officers involved as rogue elements, police officers abusing their authority and roadblocks, police officers trying to intimidate people. And with that, additionally, we had the online reporting. The online reporting was technology at its finest. So usually a woman will be beaten by her husband, she has to go to a police station. The police officer is not very well trained in understanding the sensitivity and the confidentiality of that situation. He will then abuse the woman and say, well, why reach home so late? You look for that. So we formed gender-based violence unit. We did online reporting so that if you have an issue or concern, whether it be fraud, cyber, a neighbor giving you problems, you do it online and we come to your home, delivery service. And then we did the police app. The police app was the largest app in Trinidad and Tobago, 485,000 odd hits. And with that app, it allowed, so with the app, the online reporting, the 482 Gary, we were bombarded daily with thousands upon thousands of messages, recommendations, concerns, reports. Guess what? As soon as I left, you removed all of that, and now you're going back to a Dropbox service. Those mailboxes, so what they want is for people to type a document in their home or write it down, put it in an envelope, seal it, go in a police station and drop it in a mailbox. That is the level of, that's the height of ignorance and stupidity. And this is what the present Police Service Commission sees as a good rating for Ola Christopher. Not Ola Christopher should be removed. The Police Service Commission that was handpicked by a president that refused to adhere to the law by forwarding a merit list to Parliament, they should resign immediately because they have failed this country.
No, Gary, you didn't have a problem with is it McDonald Jacob being a consultant to the Commissioner of Police and receiving what it is?
No, I'm Stephen Williams.
Stephen Williams receiving.
No, I did not, because every single person can bring some degree of value. You must never underestimate the value of anyone. Stephen Williams may very well have some degree of information or experience. I mean, the man has been a commissioner.
Yeah, but Gary was a failure. Gary was a failure, though. Oh, you could.
No, I know, but wait, but I'm coming to that. But he may be very well versed in administration, in trying to assist Ola to deal with the backlog in promotion or how we could improve persons with overtime corruption. So he was an administrator. Right? The problem exists in the police service now is lack of technical, qualified, operationally led leaders dealing with policing, hard targeting, high visibility, a rapid response, predictive policing, intelligence-driven policing. Ola, McDonald Jacob, Stephen Williams, they never understood that. Some of them probably never even held a firearm in years. You'd have seen Ola trying on a range and they're trying to show how to use the firearm. This is why they probably had a problem in giving firearms to anyone. So if Stephen Williams feels that, look, I'm willing to help you, Ola, and give you some advice, there's nothing wrong with that. The problem I had is that you're paying this man $50,000 a month. And again, this is an example of the hypocrisy of Colin Imbert and the PNM. They want to question me about my procurement regulations. Not one person I hired got half as much as what Stephen Williams is getting. And there was no tender process for Stephen Williams' acceptance. So you're giving this man $50,000 a month. On what grounds? What is his qualification to justify that? And therein lies the problem. Where it is, and what made it worse is when Stephen Williams was asked, are you an advisor to Ola Christopher last year? Are you being paid as an advisor? He said no. And then after, when the information came out, he said, well, no, I'm not an advisor, I'm a consultant, there's a difference. You're paying with words. You knew exactly where the media was coming from. And instead of you saying, no, I'm not an advisor, however, I'm a consultant and there's a difference, you stayed quiet and said, no, I'm not an advisor, it's not true. And the media went quiet on it for several months until they got the file to show that this man was being paid. This can't be right. There's something about ethics. If people ask you a question, don't play around with the words conveniently to try to cover what it is you wanted. Be bold and be honest. I offered to assist Keith Rowley, not for a cent. Why would I want to be paid? The training, the qualification, the experience, the courses I acquired to allow me to help the country now, it should be at no cost because all of these things I acquired through the state. And I would have thought that Stephen Williams would have done the same, but he did not. This was for a price, and it may give the impression of jobs for the boys because I was willing to do this for free at no cost, and my track record was there. It was the highest reduction in violent crime in 17 years as a minister. It was the highest reduction in serious crime in 31 years. Public confidence and trust has been the highest in the police service when I was there. It's now the lowest after I left. So at least there's some degree of substance, and the public never felt so safe. We put crime as number 4 behind health, education, and the economy when I was there. Now it's back to number 1. In Stephen Williams' era, it was always number 1. Public trust and confidence was never high. Public trust in the commissioner was never high. Operational and policing systems were never good. But you still hired this man. And then I was willing to do it for free at no cost, just to help the country. And if that could have assisted in one less murder, one less rape, one less kidnapping, we would have done our jobs as politicians and patriots of this country. Keith Rowley said, it doesn't matter. I don't care if it is that you can save that one extra life. I don't want your help. That is who this country will want to stay as a prime minister. I hope not.
Gary, if you can stay with us for a few, we just got to go for a quick break. Gary, when you come back, right, I want to talk to you about the former director of the SSA, Major Roger Best.
Sorry, I'm losing you there. Can you get close to the mic, please?
Yeah, okay. When we come back, I want to talk to you about former director of the SSA, Major Roger Best, distancing himself from the claims made by Prime Minister Dr. Rowley.
Sure, okay.
All right, so we're going to go for a quick break and we'll be right back. Folks, it's Sunday Talk, Let's Talk Call. And folks in the chat, if you want to put your questions in the chat, you have any questions for NTA political leader Gary Griffith, you can put it in your chat and I will ask Mr. Griffith those questions. Stick and stay. It's Sunday Talk, Let's Talk Politics with Uncle Tommy, Professor Wall Street, and you. We'll be right back after this short message. Don't go nowhere.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio. WZYE 95.9 FM.
We are back with you. It's Sunday Talk, Let's Talk Politics with Uncle Tommy, Professor Wall Street, NTA political leader Gary Griffith, and you on WZYE 95.9 FM. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, we come to you every Sunday from 1 to 4 p.m. Every Sunday from 1 to 4 p.m. You can also get us on WZYE TV 95.9 FM on Facebook and X, formerly known as Twitter. You can also get us on WZYE TV and YouTube as well. You can reach us here at 973-868-1444. That's 973-868-1444.
Also, 973-609-6509, 973-609-6509.
So, Mr. Griffith, you back with us?
Yes, I am. Yes.
So, the former director of the SSA, Major Roger Best, distancing himself from claims by Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley that the agency under his watch was plotting to replace the country's political leadership. Do you have any comment about that?
Well, yeah, I mean, he who accused must prove. You have made a damning accusation. You have fired 23 people, including the director of the SSA. You have now stated that that persons in the SSA were involved in forming a coup, involved in a cult, involved in treason, involved in trying to overthrow the government. It will now lead these 23 persons to be in the eyes of the public that you all are the conspirators, you all are the terrorists, you all are the possible coup members. And now each of them will probably sue the state for several $1 million. So this is going to cost the state hundreds of millions of dollars because of a foolish statement made by a prime minister. And if it is that you can make a comment like that, and up to now you cannot even show one shred of evidence to verify this, to justify this, where are we going as a country? That a politician can just wildly accuse someone, just as what he did with me with the firearms that fell flat. And now you're trying the same thing with Roger Best. Let me tell you what this was about. When I was commissioner and Roger Best was director of the SSC, we were the two persons who had full authorization for the purchase, acquisition, control, and direction of the intercept equipment that will monitor, intercepting the phones of citizens of this country. And a senior minister continued to harass us to allow a junior constable to have full access to control the intercept equipment. And we said, why? This cannot be right. And he insisted, and now that it's been brought to our attention by removing the both of us, this man has full access to intercept the phone of anybody he wants. And that is again a sign of dictatorship. So You tried a smear campaign on Gary Griffith to justify me not being commissioner. It failed. The whole country has seen it for what it is. You have now gone after someone who has been, he joined the army with me, I think, in 89 or so. So you're speaking about somebody with 3 decades plus of experienced patriotism for this country. Not once has he ever been involved in any questionable criminal activity. In fact, he was the number 2 in the special anti-crime unit of the PNM's SOT in pre-2010. He has served this country well. He was actually in Haiti with myself. I came back as the first military officer with a UN peacekeeping medal. He was the second. He returned after me with the rest of the troops. He was involved in an airplane crash in Haiti with 50 other Trinidad and Tobago soldiers. That the plane crash landed. The plane turned up into like a corn curl. And the man, and with an injury, he remained in Haiti serving his country. That is who you will try to demonize and discredit. I mean, shame on you, Keith Rowley. And you're making these comments without even giving the man natural justice, because you bring in Brigadier General Philip Spencer, is a man who I have the highest regard for. When he was ADCAR to President Robinson, I replaced him at times as an ADCAR. When he was the military attaché to General Alfonso, I replaced him as military attaché. So I know the man. I have worked with him. He's second to none. But at the end of the day, the man has absolutely no training or qualification or experience in intelligence gathering. He has the same qualification as equivalent to Rishmi Ramnarayan as it pertains to intelligence leadership. I was the head of the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force Intelligence Unit. I was the representative for the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force in the Joint Operational Command Center Intelligence Systems. So I know about intelligence gathering. Philip Spencer never was, but you appoint him to be in charge of the SSC. And then he does an audit, and poor guy, you do an audit, and then when you do the audit, you come up with these accusations, and up to now, you never spoke to Roger Best to say, Roger, 70,000 rounds missing. What you have to say? Roger, we heard that civilians had firearms in SSA. What you have to say? Roger, we heard that there were members in the SSA that were part of a cult. What do you have to say? That is what you call natural justice. They did the same thing with myself with firearms. You hire people, pay them big money, let them write what they want. Then after, as a coward, you want to go to parliament to read it out so I will not sue you. And again, after you did all of that, you never spoke to me or showed me the report for me to say that is a lie, that is impossible. Look, the document here to prove that that is not true. So this is the Rowley's plan. They did an audit with Stanley John. The man said it was a massive, well-oiled criminal enterprise, and up to now, not one person has been charged based on his audit report. The same thing with 4 comedians you hire, and they never contacted me under natural justice. You then hire Pritchard and Barrington. You then want to do an audit with the Auditor General. You then wanted to do an audit over the missing files of the AG's office. You then want to do an audit with the SSA. You then want to do an audit with procurement of the police service. This is the audit government. And then after they do the audit, they turn to the other A, which is allegations. It is alleged that this happened. It is alleged we have this. It is alleged with corruption. It is alleged with a coup. It is alleged. That is what they do. Audits by allegations. And then when they do that, they fool certain people to believe it is true.
So, Gary, are they going to make the SSA report public? If you know?
No, they haven't. And it again shows the double standard and the hypocrisy of Keith Rowley. You wanted to make an audit report about firearms issue public, but there was no need to do that. Apart from the fact that under natural justice, you could not have done that because the court said you can't be serious. You've did a report, smear the character of somebody, and you never asked him the questions. Boy, gone from here with that injunction file. So when people say Gary Griffith blocked it, no, the court realized that this man was a waste of time. You did an audit and you want to read it in Parliament, and you never spoke to me for me to clarify the errors and the lies in the audit. And you wanted to go to Parliament to read out the audit. And you don't go to Parliament to read out the audit about firearms, but an audit pertaining to an attempted coup, an audit pertaining to a cult, an audit pertaining to a plan to destabilize the country you don't want to reveal to the country. Come now. The country must see through it for what it is.
Gary, do you know if they made the PAHO report public? The PAHO report.
I'm not aware. I don't think so. I haven't seen it. I've heard certain extracts of it, but I stand to be corrected. I'll have to confirm.
Right. Yeah, no problem. So here are some questions from the chat, Gary. Wall Street, could you ask him to comment on Hines saying yesterday that 11 people are before the court for firearm-related offenses, when Gary always says...
Oh, sorry, can you say that again? I didn't hear you.
Yeah. Wall Street, could you ask him to comment on Hines saying yesterday that 11 people are before the court for firearm-related offenses, when Gary always says no one is before the court?
Right. You know, English is a very simple language. I continue to state that in the 3 years when I was Commissioner of Police, in the 7,000 firearms issued, not one was lost, not one was stolen, not one was used for a crime in those 3 years. That is how comprehensive it was by me making sure the right persons got firearms. Additionally, most of those persons who were before the courts was based on me doing sting operations, because you had police officers trying to bribe persons in the road with firearms, and we had undercover officers and we'll apprehend them. So most of those 11, look at the dates of when those persons were arrested. It was under my watch as Commissioner of Police. I was cleaning up the police service. And the other 2 persons, they have been charged because they signed for me to inform people that their approval was granted. That was not corruption. So again, I want to double down. They show me any police officer that was charged for corruption and bribery for firearms under my watch during my period based on the audits. The answer is 0. Let them come again.
Here's our next question, Gary. Gary, can you expand on organized crime and illegal mining in east of Trinidad with gun violence and why to date there have been no convictions?
Yeah, and I was putting a lot of work in that, and I actually formed a unit specifically to deal with that. They wore camouflage. They were involved heavily in trying to see if they could clean up that situation. And then what I acquired, because it is very difficult. I mean, if people understand the terrain in Trinidad, it is not just by having police patrols, because you're talking about miles and miles inland, and you can't have police patrols there 24/7. That is why I got the approval for drones. The drones would have been able to pinpoint the locations where this will be taking place. We could then pinpoint when the trucks are there, where it is being done, and bam, we'll be able to take them. These same drones would have been able to turn night into day, monitor matchstick, leaving Venezuelan waters to enter Trinidad and Tobago, see where the vessel goes, see what car links up with the vessel, see when they collect the drugs, the human trafficking, the weapons, see where it is being transported to, and then do sting operations. That is the type of transformation that we were doing and planted, and I got the approval for all that. After I left, we went back to trying to build mailboxes and put in police stations to give information on crime.
Here's another question, Gary. Mr. Gary, the person said this report, I'm not sure which report they're talking about, but let me just read it. Question, Mr. Gary, this report is going to be investigated by Suzette, I don't know who that is, and a lady who's supposed to be under investigation for doing bidding for
Sorry, I'm losing you again.
I've
really been using my bionic here for this interview. It's skipping. Can you just speak closer to the mic, please?
Yeah, all right. Question, Mr. Gary, this report is going to be investigated by Suzette and a lady who's supposed to be under investigation for doing bidding for the government. What says you? I'm not sure about that one.
Sorry, the investigation is going to be investigated by whom?
Suzette. I don't know, Suzette.
Right, yeah. Well, again, you know, we continue to target a certain individual. Let me clarify to everyone here, home and abroad. Well, no member of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service has authorization to leave the territorial waters of Trinidad and Tobago to be involved in any operation unless you have the approval of a senior government minister in the National Security Council. The reason I could say that is I was a security minister, I was a commissioner of police, I was a police officer, I was a soldier. If the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force hockey team has to go to Barbados to take part in a tournament, or to go to New York for the Big Apple Hockey Festival, you need the minister to give approval, even to play hockey or football. If the police football team needs to go abroad to play a CONCACAF game, they need the approval from the Minister of National Security. So no police officer could have left Trinidad and Tobago to get to Barbados to arrest anyone unless the minister approved it. This has been held back. It has been hidden by Earl Christopher. We have written to her and asked her why this matter not being investigated, and is the minister being investigated for aiding and abetting in a criminal offense for misbehavior in office by giving authorization for police officers to travel to Barbados to kidnap a law-abiding citizen of this country. So before we decide to cast anything on the individual, we must look first at who gave her the authorization to go there. And the authorization is the person who must be culpable.
So Gary, let's quickly go over to the UNC NTA coalition. So a person says, what is your position with Gary and the UNC?
Well, again, I would have spoken at length about the political history. In 1981, the ONR, 91,000 votes, no seats. In 1991, the NAR, of which Kamala Prasad-Bissessar was part of, they got 127,000 votes, no seats. In 2007, the Congress of the People got 147,000 votes, no seats. And the numbers continue to increase, that floating voter, because young persons, because of technology, are no longer being directed by mommy and daddy in their home. This is a PNM or UNC house, so you have to vote for us. In fact, they are educating their parents to tell them that you don't go around there blindly supporting a political party. I know the United States, you all have the same thing. So someday you have 50, 70 million that will be Democrat or Republican until they die. That is their right. But those floating voters decide the outcome of the election. We may not have the numbers to win an election, but what we do decides the outcome. If we go alone, it usually will split the votes to allow the PNM to win. We work with another political party, it will cause the annihilation of the PNM. And if it is that there's no third party, most of those floating voters will gravitate to the PNM, especially in the marginal seats, which is why the PNM will win. So the maths is there, the data is there, but we are not going to idly just say, let's just join with the UNC and have a repeat of 2010 to 2015. This is not a threat. This is me humbly explaining to UNC supporters, I'm sure you all don't want a repeat of 2010 to 2015. You want a good government with the hierarchy of all of these political parties having some equal say for us to work together, not trying to use us to get the votes so that you will have a UNC government. I don't think that's what the country wants. I don't think that's what the citizens want.
So, Gary, one more question, and then one more question after this, and then we'll let you go. Question, Mr. Gary, it's been over 6 years now. Why bring these evidence to bust Rowley throat just for an election come 2025? Do you think that will affect
sorry, can you repeat that? 6 years now?
It's been 6 years now. Why bring these evidence to bust Rowley throat just for an election come 2025? Don't you think that will affect your party?
I was waiting for that question. Oh, thank you so much, sir. Thank you. The sad thing is, when it is Rowley started talking all his lies, and I said, the things that I have in messages with you, it will cause our government to collapse. People kept begging me, well, bring it now. Timing is everything. And now that I'm bringing it, now you're complaining. Because there's a time when I will do it. And every time they open their mouth on certain things, I will have revelations to show the lies, the double standard, and the hypocrisy of Keith Rowley and his government. So there'll be a time when I will want to bring out certain things at a specific time. It wasn't coincidental I brought out this. Keith Rowley, when he speaks and he continues to make false allegations, there will be times when I will bring forward messages to show that what he's stating is untrue. And I will continue to do so. And anybody who has a complaint about it, remember this was the same people, the same PNM supporters that agreed, and rightfully so, about the whistleblowing legislation.
And here's the next one. Hey, Wall Street, can you ask him what you think about the guys downstairs and dealers blow it out by taking money to give FUL, but he did good by giving it to people?
No, I would like Wall Street to call the names of the people and leave his name so that I will sue him for every cent he has. If you know that dealers were taking money and bribes, call the names of the dealers and don't hide under a very foolish name called Wall Street. You seem more like Floor Street because you're making an accusation, just like Keith Rowley, as clueless as he is, you sound just like him, because you're making an accusation,
Gary,
but you're not calling a name.
Gary,
call the name of the dealer.
Gary,
hello?
No. I am. You're answering the question, right? I could put the question up on the screen for you. You need the name of the
Sorry,
person.
I lost it. What's that?
No, you're answering the question, right? The person says, hi, they call me, hi, Wall Street. Can you ask him what he think about the guy downstairs and the dealers?
All right, okay, well, so the person who is saying that,
yeah,
you could ask Wall Street,
right?
Let the person reveal his name
and
let him make up. You mustn't hide. If it is that you are sure about something, so I am convinced that I can send something because I don't have to hide. Say that, don't call Wall Street then. State, I, Mr. So-and-so, know that Mr. So-and-so, the FUL dealer, bribed so-and-so and blackmail Mr. So-and-so to get a firearm. You can't do that because that's the PNM style. Mr. Wall Street, why don't ask Gary? Oh, God, get over that. Let's deal with facts. The rum shop PNM talk has failed miserably. So by saying, I know a firearm dealer, well, then call the name of the dealer. And it's the same thing with Keith Rowley and his lies. The man said in the reports that persons stated that they paid bribes to get their firearms and people accepted it. call the name of the people who paid the bribe because they should be charged. They should be in jail. That is the point. The people who received the money have also been involved in aiding and abetting a criminal offense and should be charged for misbehavior in office and corruption. Charge them and call their names. Don't be with this foolish rum shop talk. What about the dealers who do so and so? And the firearms, man, the rum shop talk gets you nowhere. Be convinced, be sure, call their names if your name, man.
And Gary, this is the last question. Sure. What are the key issues the NTA plan to focus in the upcoming general election?
The main issue uniting the country. The country has been so divided because of politics, because of incompetence, because of mismanagement. What we intend to do is to bring the country back to really and truly what we were hoping for. I was very young then, in 1986. That was the plan. Unfortunately, the plan to govern the country, the NAR did not have. We intend to do both. Unite the country through having a united government, but then also making sure that we have a system in place to transform Trinidad and Tobago. The reason we are known as the National Transformational Alliance, it is there. It is an alliance of minds of different persons, regardless of race, color, ethnic composition, geographical location, financial status, aligning all of the persons together into one unified body. And the transformation is to transform Trinidad and Tobago to have it as it has never seen before. If we could have transformed the police service, we could transform this country. And those are the main goals of the National Transformation Alliance.
Well, Gary, I have to tell you, so it was a pleasure. We kept you an hour and 19 minutes. We really appreciate you taking the time here in order to join us here. And whenever I reach out to you, you always reach out to us. Any closing words before you go?
No, it was always my pleasure. I mean, sorry for the problem. I don't know what it was with the audio, but I think we got through it pretty okay. I will always continue to be a patriot before politicians, which is why the comments I make may not be the politically correct one, but I will do what is right. I have stood firm, even with two different governments I have served under. One government, regardless of the fact that no government is perfect. So when they had the situation with live sport, and they had the situation with me having to testify in court on a matter, I promised and I swore oath to my God, my country, and my people that I will do the right thing. And if it is that the government did not like it and I was removed, so be it. I could still walk the country proud and know that I did what was right. And likewise, when I served under another government and politicians were trying to use me and telling me to arrest persons in their homes when that would have been illegal, and then trying to pressure me to be involved in targeting political opponents, and I said no. I stood firm to what I believe in. So I promise to you, Trinidad and Tobago, and to all of those persons outside there who are listening, that I intend to do what is right for the country. I will always put my country and what is right for my country before what is right for the political benefit of myself and my political party.
Mr. Gary Griffith, it's a pleasure. Thank you very much for joining us.
All the best.
Thank you. Bye-bye. So there you have it, folks. There you have it. Sunday Talk, Let's Talk Politics with Uncle Tommy, Professor Walshit, and you on WZYE 95.9 FM. Tommy, I just see a voice note come in there. Let me see if I could play from your friend. I don't know. Let me see what you say, buddy. What you say? What you say? What you say there? Hold on.
As I hear that AI voice, I go on. I go on. Let me see where's the next one now.
All right. Tommy, that your partner.
Which AI voice?
You don't worry about that, man. This is for you when you say I come back home. What's this one? Okay. Brooklyn sent me something when I say I come back home. I come back home for the carnival.
Who sent it?
Brooklyn sent that for me.
Okay.
He sent it on a pan.
All right.
Yes, so Tommy, we had an exhaustive, I would say, discussion with Gary Griffith, putting a lot of facts on the table, asking a lot of the tough questions, and, he answered. That's all you could ask for. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is, man. But I think it just... So what's your take, Tommy?
Well, all I could say is that there's a lot of distraction going on.
A lot of distractions, huh?
A lot of distractions going on.
hold on, Tommy. Let me take back off this mic. Let me try it. Hold on. Yeah, I had to change background mic. Yeah, a lot of distractions going on, Tommy. A lot of distractions. So, Tommy, I did an editorial on Warner's arrest.
I heard it. Play it.
Let me play that editorial for you. Here we go, folks.
The ripple effects of Alan Warner's arrest on Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley. An editorial by Professor Wall Street. The recent arrest of Alan Warner, a close friend and business partner of Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley, for illegal mining activities, has sent shockwaves through the political landscape of Trinidad and Tobago. This incident is not just a legal matter for Warner, but poses several problematic implications for the Prime Minister. Here are 10 reasons why this development is particularly troubling for Dr. Rowley. 1. Public perception. The association with an individual charged with illegal activities can tarnish the Prime Minister's image, leading to public skepticism about his judgment and the company he keeps. 2. Integrity question. Given the past investigations into government contracts awarded to Warner's company, this arrest could reignite concerns about the integrity of the Prime Minister's dealings and his commitment to lawful governance. 3. Political ammunition. The opposition can leverage this situation to question Dr. Rowley's anti-corruption stance, potentially weakening his political position and credibility. 4. Distraction from governance. The media attention and political fallout from Warner's arrest could distract the Prime Minister and his administration from pressing national issues, hindering their ability to govern effectively. 5. Investor confidence. Such incidents can shake investor confidence in the country's leadership and its commitment to the rule of law, which is crucial for foreign investment and economic stability. 6. International relations. Trinidad and Tobago's international reputation could be at stake if the Prime Minister is perceived as being close to individuals involved in illegal activities affecting diplomatic relations and international trade deals. 7. Legal scrutiny. The arrest might lead to increased legal scrutiny of the Prime Minister's past transactions, especially the discounted purchase of a townhouse from Warner, which could uncover other problematic issues. 8. Moral authority. As the head of government, Dr. Rowley is expected to set a moral example. His connection to Warner could be seen as compromising this moral authority, especially in the fight against illegal activities. 9. Internal party dynamics. This situation could create rifts within the ruling party as members distance themselves from the controversy, potentially leading to instability within the party ranks. 10. Personal distress. On a personal level, the Prime Minister may face distress over the legal troubles of a friend, which could affect his focus and decision-making abilities. In conclusion, the arrest of Alan Warner for illegal mining is a significant concern for Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley. It challenges his leadership, questions his integrity, and could have far-reaching consequences for both his political career and the nation's welfare.
Tommy, you know, let me say welcome to Big George. Big George has come in, right? I think Big George had to be related somehow to Eugene Julian. No, let me not say that. I'm taking that back. You what Big George asked Tommy? Professor and Tommy, did you guys give the PNM any kudos for the food supplies to the Grenadines?
The Prime Minister.
Yeah,
PM.
yeah. They give the PM. Yeah, the PM. Big George, who money does Prime Minister use to send that money to Grenada? Who money is that? I see money. To me, I see money. Iowa George uses money and send things to Grenada. Eh? Big George, did you give Iowa George any kudos? Eh? You know, Big George just come in just like he come in just like that fella with the cricketer with the cricketer name, you know. Yeah?
The mean fella?
Yeah, the mean fella. The mean fella. Yeah, I'm over defender.
Yeah, what shoot? You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
I have a couple of questions, sir. So your phone's on low. I can.
Yeah, I know.
Questions, sir, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Seeing that the Prime Minister and Stuart you deny sending these messages, right?
Yeah.
Is this supposed to be an investigation for the Integrity Commission?
Yeah.
1, 2.
Yeah.
I don't want to be charged for mining, illegal mining, right? If these materials he was alleged to be illegally mining, was it used for any projects that he's profiting from currently?
That's a good question. But you know, Mover Defender, you just jog my memory just now there, with something, If he has a FUL license, shouldn't they go and take away his FUL license now since he's charged?
Well, that was a big question. That was a question. I think I don't know why somebody asked that question somewhere. That he's charged for a criminal offense. Should they take away the license now?
Yeah, that's something I didn't think about that. As you said that.
On a serious note, this situation you have a lot of more questions than answers.
Yeah, it does. It does.
So my next question is, if Gary Griffith just said these messages were a tea party, where's the rest to come, right?
Right?
You can imagine the rest to come?
Oh God. Listen.
And you see what I sent the message earlier about government assisted and taxpayers assisted?
Yeah.
You see Big George, what Big George asked him?
Yeah.
And I really like the answer he gave him. Like the Prime Minister dip in the pocket and send that money?
Yeah, like Big George feel that Prime Minister Rowley went into his pocket, or he went to the bank and he went to the ATM and he drove $5,000 from his money. And he sent it to the people. He go and buy goods, go buy Massey and buy goods and price up, and then he sent it to Grenada.
Yeah, because Wall Street, that is where the BDM went to, the light say free education, free health care. We should turn the government.
But,
it's our money, boy.
Did you see the quote with Idi Amin? Is Idi Amin, boy? Where is that? You using taxpayers' money. You are government and you using taxpayers' money to do something, right? It's like you going to an ATM. Let me get it. I'll get it for you. I want to misquote it. I'll get it for you. But that's exactly what Big George is saying, is that all your compliment. Iowa George using money. Iowa George used his money to send things to Grenada. He has to pay them people on that boat and all kind of thing.
Yes, he does. Diesel too.
Diesel, everything. But Big George coming about compliment the Prime Minister.
Program them to believe that what the government doing for us is a favor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially the poor people. Because watching they do the same little petty favors they're doing for we. They're doing it 10 times more for the other races.
But listen, Mover Defender, when you said win yourself over the government, I always say, why it is we black people that tell other black people win yourself over the government, but we don't tell Faris Arawi collecting $1 million from the government, win yourself over the government. Colin Boat and family and contractors collecting millions from the government. We don't tell them. NCB Global with Stuart Young family, we don't tell them win yourself over the government.
Because Wall Street, as I repeat again, they brainwash poor people to believe what the government is doing for us is a favor. Here, the government brainwash the people with also. They create the problems and bring the solution. So we praise them for the solution.
Correct.
But we forget it's them bring the problem.
Correct. Correct.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like Big George and them, and I sure Big George is an old person.
Yeah, boy.
Well, look, he hear all these allegations just mentioned, not in Parliament and not Parliament, you know. These things were saying free and free space. And he didn't hear that, you know. But ask him what the Prime Minister saying in Parliament. Under parliamentary privilege.
Yeah.
But should we not sad place, you know, but here I feel confident about it. When I hear Gary Griffith talk, I feel confident. Here why? Gary Griffith has never told lies. Yeah. So we know anything wrong in Gary Griffith's circle, you talk about it.
Correct.
And that is why I felt confident, and I realized that people are coming out of this sleep. That the PNM put them in because Washington was the biggest PNM in 2020. So the point I'm trying to make is here, that is what gave me confidence to step out and say, right. Because what should I talk about something happened to me personally this week? I sent in an application to NLCD for 3 months now to get a clear boot. Everything went through Washington. When they come to site visit, they come do everything. Last week I went there to find out that update has come in. My name is off the system. So when I come here to talk, I don't come here to talk for joke, you know. Because I can sit down and live on my little accomplishments, you know. Right. But I can't do that. What about the person who can't? So I take my name off the list, straight off the list, no documents, no history of my mail application. I hope you understand what I'm saying, you know.
No, I understand, man.
How long would we live under the PNM victimizing us when we don't toe the lines? How long? So I'm gonna take more time. I'll come back in I'll take somebody else next.
Yeah, man. Bless. Yeah. Call back. KFC and Gordon, call back. Tommy, your friend.
Yeah.
Tommy, hello, Gordon.
My friend.
Gordon, welcome. How are you doing, Gordon?
I don't appreciate anybody telling me which part hell is, because I am not going there.
What do you mean by that,
So
Gordon?
I prefer if you tell me heaven high or something. Don't tell me nothing about hell low.
Gordon, what do you mean by that? Can you explain that?
Tommy, go explain it to you. Good afternoon.
Right. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
We are doing splendiferous, fantabulous, and tremendous.
And I am glad for us to hear that. It's a serious show, no? Don't be laughing. No? This is a serious show.
This is a serious show. Right? I'm glad you realize that, Gordon. I'm glad you realize that.
I want you to let your people and them know.
Yes.
Right? Call, make contribution and thing, but don't go into people's business. Don't go into people's family who voting for who and you sure that the son and them don't support that and all them kind of. That comes as a result of dotishness. Right? So tell them if they want. I mean, God has blessed me. I have some money. I could help them to buy a cow or a little goat or some duck if they want something to mind. And don't mind my business. All right? Yeah. So I get that out of the way. Right. Because I find talk shows, there's a wonderful opportunity there, boy. A wonderful opportunity to address seriously the issues that we have every day, which is obvious to the mothers and the fathers, the sons and the daughters, the brothers and the sisters, that it has to do with more than just a political party or a man who have a bald head or a woman who have long hair.
But you know, Gordon, when we do that, you know what you say, Gordon? When I come and I say, under Prime Minister Rowley, we have 26% of black people living below the poverty line.
No, God, save yourself that trouble now. Don't go down that road now. Save yourself that trouble now. Because what you are doing is you're supporting the idea that came forth, which is there's a go along, come along talk show contingent that they want you to come along with where they are going along. They are going along a part of hate this man, hate this woman, hate this color, hate this party. And based on that hate, you're coming up with A, B, C, 7, 8, and that's how it's going.
Gordon.
It just happened to be that some of us, I'm not too sure the percentage, so me going and rattle out percentage. Some of us, we're not on that. What we on is to seeing things get easier or better by those who can caused that to happen.
And Gordon,
you understand?
And Gordon, let me ask you a question. You are seeing things getting better in Trinidad and Tobago over the last 9 years.
In all aspects, no. In some aspects, yes.
All right. Let's put a percentage on it. Put a percentage.
No. I'm not doing that.
Okay.
I'm not doing that. I'm not going to rattle off nothing, and then after, when you tell me to prove it, you know what I mean? I can't prove it. When you tell me, well, look, based on what I can't, and then after, you and the 7 callers and them want to hit me for 6, as happened last week. You understand? And happened with one of your friends who give wrong information. Just like some of them talk shows and them,
Mr.
Give wrong
Bacteria?
information.
Wait.
The good thing about him,
Gordon, can I ask a question?
is that he was able to apologize.
Gordon,
The others and them don't apologize. They just come up with all kind of different reasons why they say what they say and why they did what they did and that kind of
Gordon,
thing. So I'm not into the percentage thing.
All right.
I know what is, and I taking it from there.
Gordon, can I ask you a question? Gordon?
Yes, I tell you, you're free to ask me anything.
Okay, Gordon, do you agree or disagree that if you're gonna come to the radio and speak what you think is facts and you don't have the information right, and when you are called out, you call and apologize after, that's acceptable to you, Gordon?
That was not the best position to take.
Oh, Gordon, you're running me wrong by the house now.
You should have do your investigating, and after you do that, come up with your position.
Okay, good. You're doing good, Gordon. Finally, you're doing good. You're going good now.
No. Forget about I doing good. I listening, right?
Yeah.
And you're talking about the Prime Minister, and it is nothing new with the Do-Two-ish movement. The Do-Two-ish movement, 99% of the time they operate in twos. That is how the concept was created. Those who belong to the Do-Two-ish movement and the plus, that is the 1 or 2 others who are, on the outside, who will just go along with them with whatever they come up with.
Movement.
Go along with them. So what I have noticed is that that movement, because of the hate, because of they want to see the back of, what they will do, they will grab at any straw that blowing across the wind and try to see if they could get somebody to think and feel is a piece of wood I hold in here, right? And I saving you, because this piece of wood, if it blow and hit you in your head, you go dead, bad. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm not on that, because thank God I came to a consciousness, you understand? And the consciousness that I have come to, you understand? Anytime I get the opportunity, what I will try to promote is effort. Tell me if this man or this woman is making a genuine effort for things to be better, or tell me if this person's effort is based on one thing: hate.
Oh, Gordon,
get rid of him.
Gordon,
get rid of her.
And that's
get rid of them.
And that's exactly what we do here. When we come here and we tell you certain things, we also give you solutions
based on hate. And get rid of.
No.
It's not that?
No. Absolutely.
Because listen, the same thing that I see happen.
Tommy and I do not have hate in our hearts.
I'm seeing the same thing happening with red. But if no comment, nothing is said of yellow, but everything and a half is said of red, then that tells me that you belong to the come along, go along group. If you're saying, well, look, this happened, this was bad, and the reason why this happened is because this system XYZ, and let me see how we could change that, let me see how we could fix that, because don't come and tell me no nonsense about yellow not in power and yellow can't fix nothing. That is do-two-ishness. Because without the yellow, it have bills that can't pass. So if you tell me only the red in power and only the red have power, well then they don't need the yellow. Then they could pass any bill. Then they could become dictators. Then they could come and say, listen, we ain't asking all anything. No. Everybody have to come every weekend and give $500 as house tax. And we can't do nothing about it because red in power. But that can't work so. It can't work so. All right or wrong?
Gordon.
But if the both parties agree and they come up with that, there's nothing you and I could do about it.
Gordon,
You understand? So don't come and tell me this nonsense about yellow not in power and yellow can't do nothing. Yellow in power, they don't have as much as red, but they have power. They have real power.
No, they have no
Check
power.
what happened with the bail bill.
No,
Check what happened with the gun bill.
No
Check what happened with so many other bills.
They have no power. They have no power. They have no power.
Don't say they had no power.
None. They have
don't say they had no power because if they didn't support that last bill last week, what was going to happen?
And Gordon, I'm going to leave you with this. There's many bills that come to the parliament that the government don't need they don't need the opposition to support it at all.
I agree with you. That is the simple things.
Yes, they don't need them.
Like
So you go tell me them in
things.
power. Oh, come on, Gordon, man. How they in power? In power where? In Mars? They in power on Mars, not on Earth.
Let them just let me reverse the thing. If they did not support this bill last week, could the PNM, could anybody pass the bill?
It depends.
If Yellow did not support it. If Yellow decided, as they have done in previous times, hey, we're not supporting that.
But if
based on
something
A,
is
B,
good
C,
for
or
the
D.
country, if something is good for the country and they support it, I don't have a problem with that.
Who determines if it's good or it's bad?
Them determine that.
You sure?
Yes. Yes,
no,
of course.
I don't agree with you.
All right.
I beg to defend you based on this.
All right.
The origin of the bail bill was not with the yellow or the red people.
All right. So
it was not there.
Let me take a
and
next
I know
one.
other people want to get into. So I just want to wrap up by saying,
okay,
we have an opportunity to, oh gosh, let me fix these systems and them now. Rather than trying to get rid of this one, bring this one. And when you bring this one and they do stupidness, hear what they're saying. When that one they do it all, they didn't say nothing. And that continue in the last 25 years, that is what going on. Because the system remaining the same. The personnel changing. And then you have them people and them who feel like if, boy, this one, when this one was here, it was 18% of this. And when that one was there, 90%. But they ain't talking about the other things, you know. They ain't talking about the color me orange, you know. They ain't talking about man going to $30-something million without scratching and a chalk on a board, you know. You understand? They ain't talking about them things. Oh gosh, man, let me come up with things that could fix things now, rather than making it a kind of we versus them and call the damn election, call election. They do that twice and look what the people decide.
I go on. Thank you, man.
All right?
Yeah, man.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah. KFC boys.
After these assemblies,
Mr. Washington, Uncle Tommy.
Yeah,
See your boy, look, your boy get to them bad boy, Gordon, boy.
Gordon Joseph, boy, getting on bad.
What you we talk about calling me orange and this and that. We talking about now we living in fruit.
We living now. You want me go back?
That we telling young people?
Go back in time. You want to go put you in a time zone.
Like he want you to go down in Ghana, in the African country right now. It's what young people standing up.
In Kenya too? You see young people standing up?
In Kenya, I mean.
Yeah, in Kenya, you see? Eh? God want to put we in a time zone, time warp. Yeah. That's all right,
Gordon say, yeah, money better buy some sheep and some goat and go and mine it. Don't tell me to go back in the past. We really fruit right now. That's present, evil, wicked piano I'm talking about right now. What should I look to understand, man?
Bless.
I'm gonna go.
And Tommy, you want to know who congratulating him in the chat? Big George. Big George. You what Big George say? Hello, caller, welcome.
Hi, blessed evening, Wall Street. Aisha Wells here. How you doing?
Aisha Wells! Tommy, look who we are. Tommy, Aisha.
Welcome, Aisha.
Aisha Wells.
Hi,
how you going, darling?
Hi, Tommy. How are you?
Good.
Aisha Wells,
how are you?
I am good. I'm good. I just listening to the show. You know, I wanted to hear your interview with Gary Wall Street because I don't know if you know, but I interviewed Gary on Friday.
Yeah. I watch it.
So I watch it. Sorry, go ahead.
I know. I watch your interview. You know how to support.
Well, I wanted to see if you was as good as me, so I tuned in.
Yeah. I was good. If it's one thing, we just come good. We
yes,
come
you
good.
were good. You was good. But here's what I wanted you to ask him. I wanted you to find out from Gary if this is the normal procedure to highlight this type of information, because we're talking about one, potential treason. We're talking about an issue for national security. We're talking about, cultish behavior, persons with guns. We're talking about a number of things, but we're hearing it in the parliament. Why wasn't this brought before a press conference and all, systems on alert? Why wasn't that type of approach taken, and why it was brought to the parliament? I was kind of hoping you would have gotten to that.
You know why? He mentioned that. He mentioned that. He says certain things you go under parliament privilege and you could talk certain things that you can't talk out in the public. He mentioned that.
Yeah, but then at least the question was whether it gives true or not. Because if you're waiting to discuss something where persons can have doubt, then it kind of questions the integrity of what is being said, if you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but no, we understand it. But Aisha, let me be honest. If the Prime Minister goes into Parliament and tell his base a green donkey could fly, them regurgitating a green donkey could fly. Them do have to go on. Aisha, you hear the one with Mr. What is his name? From by Sawo up there. What is that place up there? You hear the one we say the Holland Tunnel?
Lord, I only hearing what you putting out on social media. I see people dragging the man all over the place out a tunnel somewhere in Holland.
The Holland Tunnel
in Europe.
The Holland Tunnel goes from England to France.
Right.
the Holland Tunnel.
Another thing, before I go, another thing that I'm really interested in finding out, because Gary said that the only reason he is bringing this information out is because, he's been attacked. So this is his form of defense. I probably say it wrong, but I interpret it as that, right? Yeah. And he said if he has to put out some more information into the public domain, this could be a tea party. So I sit down here trying to figure out what is some of the information that he sit down on.
Yeah, plenty information, because I shall think about it. He was the commissioner of police. And there is information which he was privy to that, as Prime Minister, you could talk to him anyway, because he's, Prime Minister is his boss, right? The boss of all bosses. So I could tell you so and so and so. But Aisha, the question is this: why does the Prime Minister have to lie and says he didn't ask the man to fast track a FUL for the fella? If that is your friend and you ask him to do a little favor, nothing wrong with that. Why have to lie about it?
So it's interesting to see how these next few weeks play out. Like I said, I like how you everything goes. I like how you dance around that question. When and coming on with network.
Aisha,
I want you and Uncle Tommy when all you come in.
Aisha, I like how you dance on that question. You dance on that question like you're dancing on Bally's house, the boy on your toes.
I could hardly hear your song in soft on the phone.
I know. I don't fix this thing here because it I know what it is.
No problem.
But it's not this, Aisha. I ask you a question here, dancing wrong like you went around Bally's house.
What's the question you asked me?
You didn't answer the question just now there. I just answer.
What question is that?
Look, some fella named Mean Jean Julian say good afternoon, Aisha. I don't know. You have all kind of things.
Tell him I said blessings to Mean
Jean. Look, Caribbean soul say Aisha Wells, thank you. Everybody like Aisha Wells. I don't know what they are with Aisha Wells. Only Aisha Wells alone.
I'm a likable person, Wall Street.
Aisha, I'll tell you the truth today. As a likable person. And the good thing about you, Aisha, you're from Lavantil too, That is a good thing.
Yeah.
Aisha Wells, thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
You're welcome, Wall Street. Locked on and listening.
Yeah, bless. Yeah, so that's how we just do it, We just support Aisha Wells. Aisha Wells just support. We listen to Aisha Wells. We call up Aisha Wells and thing. But Tommy, she danced you wrong Bally's house and that question. What's the question I asked you again? I forget, yes? She danced you wrong Bally's house, boy, Tommy, boy. You ain't find so?
She said she wasn't hearing well, so.
Tommy, I like you, Yeah, Mr. Point 14. You hearing me?
Yes, I hear you. Something a little bit soft, though. According to you, say you have to rectify that problem.
Yeah, I don't fix it.
I hear speaker move and they're coming across real soft cells. I don't know ways to deal with that.
I go fix it.
But what I want to find out, right?
Yeah.
Listen to what is his name?
Gary Griffith.
Starting with G.
Gary Griffith. GG.
No. Nah, the next guy.
Oh, Big George? Oh, Gordon Joseph. Gordon Joseph.
Right.
Yeah, Gordon Joseph.
Right.
Yeah.
What I want to find out, right? When the Prime Minister come and tell the nation that the people depending on the government to fix the road, build schools, see about the hospital, and then turn around and say, we can't depend on the government to do all of that again, and we have to wean ourselves off the government, right?
Yeah.
Why it is now, where they are seeing trouble to have anything working good, the comment and want to implement property tax with something that Keith Rowley said in 2014 or 2015, that anybody who say that this incoming government who is bringing this tax is lying on them.
Talk, point for ten, talk. You talk. Go ahead and talk. Yeah, talk. Go ahead and talk.
Understand?
Yeah.
But what I want to find out, one thing I want to find out again before I go to, right? Trinbago land, what the Prime Minister want to give to this Indian guy from India, this rich billion guy from India. Does that land have any lease or any documents to show that that land belongs to Trinbago? For the Prime Minister just to take it to give it away?
That's a good question. That's a very good question. I'm not sure. That's
well, let me give you this. I have a copy of the list for that land.
Where, boy? Send my copy, boy.
I get it. I can send it because I get it from my partner of mine.
Send it to me, boy.
So I can send it.
Yes, send it to me. Send it in that number.
I will send it for you.
Where?
Yeah, I go send it.
Where, boy?
A partner of mine, I talk. Our old partner of mine, I talk, and she said, "Boy, I have something to show you." You know? And he go on the phone. I see scrolling. He said, "Read that." I said, "Wait now." I said, "But where you get this?" He said, "Boy," he said, if you feel well, and them can take what belongs to we and give it away just so we, you know, we fighting for we thing."
I
said, send it from me. I said, because other people need to see this.
Why
I said, take the fight to the PNM.
Take the fight to them.
Because that is the problem.
Correct. And I wonder what.
So when I hang up, I will send it for you.
Yeah, man. Bless.
Right, look.
Yeah, I wonder what Gordon Joseph going to say about that, Tommy. You go find an excuse to, you know. You go find a reason not to. Yeah, him and George. He and Big George. Yeah. What about that Big George? I wonder what Big George's opinion on the PNM, his party, taking away land from Trinbago. Eh? Tommy, you know Big George go make a big excuse for that one too. You know that, right? He go say, well, yeah, you know, but that land, there was old land, and the land was rotten, and and the two-story building was better for them. Yeah, that's what Big George go say. Yeah, he go say that. Yeah, what you say to me? Thank you, caller, I like you. You must like him because he's a PNM. Oh, you ain't gonna like him. Tommy, they identify with each other. Tommy, it's like a cult, you know. Wait, no, I shouldn't say that. Should I say that, Tommy?
Strong words.
Let me take that back, eh? Big George, I take that back. But Tommy, I read the characteristics of a cult, you know. You know, that them characteristics kind of remind me, you know. I don't know. But anyway, Big George said, thank you, caller, I like you. He love Gordon Joseph. He like him, you know. Yeah? Yeah. You know what facts, you know? You know what facts? Look, he recording, Tommy, he recording our next voice note right now. He recording our voice note. But let me say one thing, folks. You see, Gordon, you could call here, Gordon, I will just let you talk. We don't hang up on all you. Big George could come in. If Big George want to call, Big George could call. We just let you talk. That's why we balance. Eh, Tommy?
Correct.
We just let them talk. Talk. Who sing that? Chicanal? It's only talk.
Talk your talk.
Talk your talk. Chicanal sing that. Because they could talk, you know. Oh, God. And they could defend their party, you know. Defend, boy. Yeah. Hey, look, we partner, George. We partner. No, Sarah, come back, boy. Yeah, point 14. Point 14.
There was she.
Yeah.
We don't talk and we just provide evidence to our Senate for you.
Thanks.
So if you want to put it up on the screen, put it up like everybody see.
Yeah, I go do that.
Don't talk just so.
Correct is right.
Right.
Yeah, man. Bless. You see, Tommy? We are becoming the place where you want to get facts in the public space. Come here. We do it. It doesn't matter what facts, you know. Facts is facts. Yeah? That is what we just do here. Eh, Big George? Yeah, Big George. Yeah. Oh God, I say go and go to the UNC, tell Rory to give the land away. Oh God, that land ain't good for pan. Oh, let me get this. Let me take this. Another sister voice. So Aisha dancing around Balizi out in the South. Same way on that day, she went there to file her nomination papers. Come, Aisha, better than that from you. I sense you're more intelligent than that. Oh God, all you leave. Yeah. Oh God, look. Tommy, look again. Look, Tommy, look again. Read it there, Tommy. Read. I like Big George, you know. That's why we love Big George. He's consistent in his behavior. Read what he said, Tommy. You see what he said?
You see, Pantry Baker don't have no land. The worst. I'm not gonna say that they're well run.
But he said the worst, you know. The worst. You know why it's the worst run organization in Trinidad, Tommy, in my estimation? The RPNM.
I knew you was gonna say that.
Oh God.
But to be the worst run. Anyway, you say R first anyway.
Yeah, RPNM. Yeah, RPNM. Yeah. Let me see it. Hold up, folks. Before we go today, I must put up this for you guys. So maybe you only have a few minutes, but I must put up the list for Pantrin Bagel. I must put it up for you guys. I'm gonna put it up. Yeah, so folks, yeah. Big George said Pantrin Bagel don't have no land. The worst run organization in Trinidad. You see, Tommy, what the symptoms that Big George is experiencing is called internalized oppression. That's the symptoms. And we talked about that ad nauseum here, Tommy. Yeah? Yeah? Look, the next one come now. They just come back to back. Tommy, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if Gordon Joseph comes next or send a text or send a voice note next. It was found out Pantrin Bagel did not have good title to the land. Yeah? You see? Look, let me see here. All right, here it is. I tell all you know. Look, he sent a voice note. Let's get this voice note quickly.
Tell Kentucky, please. I take my money and I mind my children and them. All right? I mind my children and them. Nobody ain't do it for me. All right? My wife and I, we expose them to the highest level of education that they could be exposed to. And they've come out with excellence. I think Wall Street, I share with you what they have been able to achieve. And they could stand on their own. That's what I take my money and do, right? I'm not a man going in bars. I'm not a man going in the ill-reputed houses, right? I don't smoke cigarette. I try and avoid alcohol, all right? I take my money and I invest it, you understand? And God has blessed what I have invested, okay? So you walk out too. You walk out too. Let me know now. Let me know where I can drop it for you. That grass and thing up by you there in Mova.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I call him going, Joseph? Folks, we're going to go for a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to go a little 5-10 minutes over time today because we have some voice notes we want to play. And we want to show you all the list for that piece of land that the blackest man in Trinidad and Tobago, Prime Minister Rowley, want to take away from a black organization and give it to a wealthy Indian businessman. Tommy, Emancipation Day coming up soon, right?
Yep.
Them looks in that Emancipation Committee. Now the African Support Emancipation Day. African Emancipation Day. And a different name changed by the blackest man in Trinidad and Tobago, Prime Minister Rowley. And they don't even have half an acre of land. They don't even have half an acre of land. And all the black people, all they like that. Let me go for the break, Sick and stay. We'll be right back. It's Sunday Talk. Let's talk politics with Uncle Tommy, Professor Wall Street, and you. We'll be right back after this message. Don't go nowhere. Tommy, we like it so, boy. We like it so. We free. We'll be right back.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE LP 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio, WZYE 95.9 FM.
This is oh Lord, Trinidad and Tobago. This is DJ Bravo. I'm hurting you up. This is a sad place. My country turned into a sad place. When I look around, it's only sad face. Our country turned into a sad place. All I see in front of me, nightmares turn into reality. Like somebody build a monster factory. Parliament up in parliament economy. But let the moderators in another body in a dream. Somebody girl child missing, another rape again. And next road stain with somebody's sunbrain. Who take the S out of Port of Spain. This is a sad place. My country turned into a sad place. When I look around, it's only sad face. Our country turned into a sad place. Now with the love, with the vibes, with the hope. Now tell me something, how we really want we cope. When the children breathing in too much gun smoke. And the Coast Guard can never see a boat. Yes, I'm like some goats when they come looking for votes. Sit the empty promises, reading like a horoscope. Justice for sale in a fat envelope. Politically, all the answers is a joke. This is a sad place. My country turned into a sad place. When I look around, it's only sad face. Our country turned into a sad place. All I see in front of me, nightmares turn into reality. Like somebody build a monster factory. Parliament up in parliament economy. But let the mother.
All right, we're back with you. It's on the talk. Let's talk politics with Uncle Tommy, Professor Walshit, and you on WZYE 95.9 FM. Let me play this voice note here.
Wonder what Gordon will say about that. Well, the income tax, the property tax issue, it belongs to understanding and interpretation. I might be wrong. My interpretation was at that point in time, it was not going to happen. It was not a good thing. Unlike what I understand causing the problem in Kenya, the party promised the people, right, that this will not be a consideration. This will not be a consideration. And when they get into office, that's the exact thing they do not too long after. And that is what causing all the riot and all this kind of thing. Because
KFC. All right, KFC hung up.
Yeah.
Hold on. Yeah, KFC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's crunch, so look at the look. Because my time I start going with tanks. They hear that? Yeah, me now?
Yeah, we are, you know.
Every time I start going at tanks, they hear that? You see me more educated children and them, that is good. But thank God in the pandemic, get a break, see more educated children and things. What's what is I can my goat and come and say.
Turn on the computer.
I can mind that shift, so that shift for me. Because that was the only thing I was doing was drink shit blood. I love to
Yeah. Oh God.
Totally opposite to what you had promised. Right? So my understanding that property tax, that was the situation. Just like the yellow people had said that they had given a time when they were going to deal with it. But the people decided against them and they went red, so it wasn't dealt with. All right? But if the property tax is done properly, I really can't see anybody who has objection to that. I mean, I know it have people are real properties, real properties, the rent out and all kind of thing. You see, Tanapuna, Curep area, Bartaria, you understand, places in San Fernando. Listen, man. So I could see the kind of objection that you could get for that, right? But oh gosh, property tax. What's wrong with property tax? What is wrong with property tax? And to me, the people who balling more is those who I feel could afford it. But I guess this is what the Calypsonians say, the crying tongue is pressure. Some balling, some crying, some don't want to help. So them and all balling too. You understand? Like what I used to do long time. Hide my cigarette down in the socks. And as I reach on the block, I ball, who I want to spare boy? Who I want to spare boy? Because once them fellas and I'm hearing me asking for cigarette, they telling themselves, I don't have. But I have a cigarette down in my socks. That's just how it is with plenty people here in Trinbago. You understand? So I listening and any question come to me, are you ready to respond? And what I wouldn't do, I promise you, is lie. I will tell you it how I see it and how I know it.
Yeah, point 14. You're gonna show that thing right now. Oh, all right. Hold on. So we just have 2 more voice notes. Under a minute.
You're right, I laugh. Nobody will surprise. If you come to the conclusion that the worst one organization in Trinidad and Tobago is the RPNM, I wonder who won the last 2 elections. Don't answer. Just laugh. Just laugh. And who decided that they will win or lose? But I the worst one, PNM. You see with that land and Trinbago and thing, and people saying they have an academy down there already, and why not? I wonder if Prestige Holding and them was thinking like that, what happened? But we'd only have one Kentucky in Trinidad, I know. Or Trinidad and Tobago. Or maybe in the Caribbean. One, I know. Yeah. I think we'd only have one Royal Castle, no. We'd only have one Mario's.
What an analogy.
Yeah.
Oh,
we'd
what an
only have
analogy.
one police station,
oh,
you know. Yeah, we'd have one secondary school and one university, you know. Yeah, everything we'd have one alone, you know. Do tuishness.
Oh, God. Last one, Tommy. 44 seconds. Oh, God, Tommy, boy.
Oh, God. It's such a precious thing. Oh, let don't waste it now, boy. The people agree. The people agree to give up whatever privilege they had with the land up so to go in a building. Did they agree? I don't know if a gun was pointed at the head or whatever. But they agree, and even if a gun was pointed at the head, and gun was pointed at the head in the parliament, but yet still it didn't stand. Oh gosh, man, only come off that stupidness now and let me come up with ways and means to make this place better rather than trying to make it ungovernable. Chops, man, according to my grandparents. Chops, man.
Tommy, so we have on the screen at least thank you, mover defender. All right, let me take Mr. Florida. Mr. Florida, you go take it because we know you're a loyalist. Go ahead. We go take it. We are on overtime. We are on overdrive. Mr. Florida.
Give Mr. Ansman, Mr. Tommy, I'm going to be quick because I know you want to go.
Yeah.
So I want to tell Mr. Gordon something. I want you to go back in our video footage from the Hyatt where Mr. Imbert and Mr. Rowley was there. And Mr. Rowley said, I will answer this question.
Yes. We have it. But Gordon, Gordon goes, you know what Gordon goes say that is AI. That's what you go say.
Yeah, but tell Mr. Gordon, you can't be reading an Express One News Day. I want to switch to Channel 6. that is not a TV. Look on this, Mr.
Hey, all you know this show done, you know, Brooklyn White is.
Well, shoot, well, I wasn't gonna call. I was on the pavilion, you know, chilling out, taking in the show.
Oh, God.
The person sending all these voice notes here. Like, I wonder if he's a state fan. The way we talking about Pancham Bago agreed to give away land. I wonder if he's a fan, man. He maybe even know an F from a C sharp or a D. But he's talking for pan, man. Partner, drink a Balize juice and relax yourself. Because at the end of the day, enough people agree. Right? Just like how Rowley want to give Trinidad back to Venezuela. If Rowley sign a lease to give Venezuela back to Trinidad, you go jump up and say as a Trinidadian that the country agree. So make sense out of your contribution, eh? All right, partner?
Yeah, man.
We'll talk. What you have a blessing.
Yeah, all right. So, folks, just before we go, Tommy, up on the screen is a list from Caroni Limited. 99 years. Tommy, you seen it, right?
Yeah, 99 years.
99 years. You seen it?
Yep.
Right? Yeah. All PNM put up your hand. All PNM put up your hand. All PNM put up your hand. Yeah, Fox Islam. A receipt is not a lease. So Peter Kanai, Pantrinbago, the sum of $99. Lease agreement, Pantrinbago, 99 years. Tommy, 99 years. What is this from?
Caroni 1975 Limited.
Yeah, Caroni Limited. What date is that? What is this? 227? I ain't sure what that number is. 2000? Is that 2000? I ain't sure what that date is. I can't read the date that well.
27.
All right. It says lease agreement Pantrinbago. 227. You can see that, Tommy? $99. A receipt. Tax invoice. Is that real receipt, boy? Caroni Limited for the land. Fox Islam. You and George, you and Big George. We like all you know. We like all you. And we want all you to stay here because we just bring all the facts. Or they don't like it, you know. Eh? Big George said, no, all they want to beat up Mr. Gordon. Nobody beating up Gordon. Who beating up Gordon? Gordon could hold you on, you know. Big George, Gordon could hold you on, you know. And Fox at Wall Street found out the land given by Pande was registered. Since it was not, Pantrinbago has no land. We had the lease, Tommy. They had the receipt, you know, Tommy. Where's that receipt, Tommy? Tommy, I don't know. Where's that receipt?
It clearly says Caroni has a lease agreement with Pantrinbago for 99 years.
No, Tommy. No, that must be a fake lease. That must be a fake receipt. No. I don't think that's real. Nah. Gordon and George and Fox will say that is not real. Fox don't saying it's not real already. Fox. Well, you're good, yes? All right, folks. Yeah. So folks, we went a little over time today, but folks, we want to thank you guys for joining us. We always appreciate you guys joining us, and we're going to continue to bring you the facts, the whole facts, and nothing but the facts. You may not like it. And before Fox says, for lease agreement, that's not a lease. A lease has to be registered. Pantrinbago does not have a registered lease. All right, Fox Islam. Okay. But Tommy boy, anything to deny a black organization something, boy? Anything to deny? Capitan said that he lease yellow it on UNC paper, boy. Oh God, folks. You can put your closing comments in the chat and let me give my closing comments. Let me play this last voice note here before I go. Hold on.
Wall Street, that man and Barta is family. We have one already. We have our academy already that is under use or even in not in use. That man's sick, boy. Like that boy, watch out, he go defend anything, man.
Oh God. Here's a next note from Gordon Joseph. I'm sorry for the ones who keep coming around, coming second every 5 years. Tell me why? So folks, let me see something here. All right, so that is it, folks. Oh God. Let me see. All right. Oh no. I want one more thing to read here. Let me see something. Brooklyn, we all right here. You have a minute.
Yeah, well, shit. I want to let you know that Peter Kanai was the chairman of the UNC. Peter Kanai is still around. I go get Peter Kanai to come on your show since his name is on that document.
Yeah, correct.
You want more proof?
Yeah.
Because Peter Kanai is my good friend. He was the manager of Solo Harmonites.
All right.
So I will get Peter Kanai to speak more about the land because his name is on that document. Yeah.
Correct. All right. Good. We go bring the facts. That is all we want to know. Bring the facts. Some Africans know nothing about land. That's why some have no land. But didn't we play the thing we had with Malcolm X? Anyway, so folks, let me give you my closing comment. It's always a pleasure that you guys joining us. You know, we're gonna continue to bring you guys the information. and you can do with it as you please. Some people don't want to use it, and some people think that we are bringing the information because we hate Tommy. Tommy, you and I have nothing to do with hate. Yeah?
Right.
So, folks, my closing comment is just because you do not require much does not mean you deserve the bare minimum. Just because you do not require much does not mean you deserve the bare minimum. From where I sit, this is it. The clock on the wall said that's all I like to say, but I've got to go. Remember, hard work beats talent when talent does not work hard. And for every 60 seconds of anger, you lose 1 minute of happiness. And remember, your circumstances may determine who you are, but you are responsible for who you become. Go ahead, Tommy.
The path from dreams to success does exist. Again, the path from dreams to success does exist. You have to become the change you want to see. You, that man in the mirror. However, if you look in that mirror and you don't like what you see, do not blame the mirror. Never look down on a person unless you're giving them a hand up. Love you all. Be safe. See you tomorrow, God willing.
Thank you. And let me read the last comment here. I concur with you all with the worst run organization in Trinidad. African emancipation, they what? Rowley knows how to BS the ignorant masses. I've always been distraught of this. Things to cry. Don't forget in Kenya, among the first things they did was ensure they welded themselves to the treasury. Where else in recent time a party on gaining governance of the country did the same? So folks, we're going to see you guys tomorrow. Same WZYE time, same WZYE channel. And of course, we always go out with this song. We see you. Tomorrow. No, that. Yeah, we are out of here. Bye-bye.
This is oh Lord, Trinidad and Tobago. This is DJ Bravo. I'm hurting you know. This is a sad place. My country turned into a sad place. When I look around, it's only sad face. Our country turned into a sad place. All I see in front of me, nightmares turn into reality. Like somebody build a monster factory. Parliament up against parliament economy. But let the moderator say another body in a drain. Somebody girl child missing, another rape again. And next road stain with somebody's sunburn. Who take the S out of Port of Spain? This is a sad place. My country turned into a sad place. When I look around, it's only sad face. Our country turned into a sad place. Now with the love, with the vibes, with the hope. Now tell me something, how we really want we cope. When the children breathing in too much gun smoke. And the Coast Guard can never see a boat. Yes, I'm going like some goats when they come looking for votes. Hit the empty promises, reading like a horoscope. Justice for sale in a fat envelope. Politically, all the answers is a joke. This is a sad place. My country turned into a sad place. When I look around, it's only sad face. Our country turned into a sad place. All I see in front of me, nightmares turn into reality. Like somebody build a monster factory. Parliament up against parliament economy. But look, the moderator saying another body in a drain. Somebody girl child missing, another rape again. And next road stain with somebody's sunburn. Who take the S out of Port of Spain? This is a sad place. My country turned into a sad place. When I look around, it's only sad face. Our country turned into a sad place. It doesn't matter the religion, the color, the creed, or the race. It's our responsibility to take care of our place. champion.